Okay, let's begin. So, thank you for coming to this show, Eat with the Owner.
Yeah, great. I'm excited to call this a mukbang, right?
Yeah.
Mukbang.
Seriously, it's not. I don't know. It's not. It's more like a conversation.
More conversation.
Yeah,
Okay.
Like our food is not, as they say, it's not that great. it's not too much show on the food side. And today is episode 42, I believe.
Okay.
So
I'm honored to be a guest.
And the first one in the year 2023.
Oh wow. Okay, even more honored.
Yeah. And what is your name?
Yeah, my name is, I go by Chen. Shen.
Shen.
Now at work though.
But that's your family name?
No, that's my first name.
First name is Chen.
No. What?
Oh no, the family name is Chen.
My family name is Chen. 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 Yeah.
So your first name is Chen.
Yeah, but at work I go by Sean.
Okay. Shawn.
Yeah, or SEAN.
SEN. Sean.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Great. Like you just mentioned, you moved here with your parents, right? When you were only 5.
I did. I moved. So I was born in China.
Okay. Which city?
In Anhui.
Oh, Anhui. Ah, that's close. I mean, Jiangsu, and then we always neighbors.
Oh, okay.
Or the northern part of Jiangsu. So.
Perfect. But I actually don't know my geography very
Yeah,
well. But
yeah.
I think
Anhui,
yeah. And I left China when I was about 5. Yeah. And but after we moved, lived many places, many cities. Okay. So I think maybe.
So in Canada, you said?
No, not just Canada. Like different countries and different cities. So in Canada, I've lived in 3 cities.
Like right out of China, which city you are?
Oh, right. So chronologically, I'll tell you. Okay,
yeah.
So it's a bit of a trip. Okay, so from China, then in Jerusalem, Israel.
Jeez, that's like a. Is it religion related or like?
No. It's actually everything that moved is because of my dad's job.
It's an engineer or something?
No, he's an academia. He's a scientist, actually.
That's a big thing.
Yeah. Big. It was a big thing when. So he left China.
Jerusalem is it's a big place. It's like
it's
famous.
Very different. Very, very different. So so Jerusalem to Boston, and then Boston to Edmonton, northern Canada.
Yeah.
Very cold. And then Edmonton to Vancouver. That's where I spent my formative years, as you call it. And then from Vancouver to U.S. Back to the U.S. again. So North Carolina. That's where I finished my high school. And then I came to university. I came to here. University.
That's crazy. That's a lot of
a
lot of travel, like a migration bird.
yeah. It's I guess at the time when I was, I had no choice.
How much time you spend
each place?
No, for example, Jerusalem.
Oh, Jerusalem, not very long. For me, I only spent maybe 7 months there. But my whole family, the rest of my family, spent probably 2 or 3 years there. Yeah.
So majority of you grew up, childhood in Boston.
Oh no, majority is split, but mostly U.S. and Canada. Yeah. So.
You speak any French?
Just un peu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, it's better to start ordering the food.
Okay.
To check the menu, and we can have the kitchen prepare.
Okay, perfect.
It's going on now. Actually, today I'm not gonna eat. During the holiday, I eat too much, so I watch my weight every day. So.
Oh, but you're not. You're fine. You're not.
It's I weigh myself every morning, so it's like
okay.
I know if I see the number is too high, I kind of stay.
Okay, that's too bad. You're not gonna eat with me. Okay.
I eat a little bit, or like just we talk, see you eat.
Okay.
Because it's like the number I just cannot tolerate anymore. The trend has to be stopped.
Okay. Okay. Well, if you have a New Year resolution, then I won't stop you.
It's not resolution. It's just like during the whole, always like the Christmas holiday, New Year.
Yeah.
We got a lot of free chocolate or the meals with friends.
Yeah.
And then once in a while, I get a free box of chocolate from our suppliers.
Oh, okay.
We order like the food container, the delivery boxes, this kind of stuff.
Okay.
Always from one company. Even this year, they sent a big box of chocolate from the from the box is from Costco.
Okay.
So, but then they're sitting in the restaurant, so I be there, eat some. It's really bad habit.
Well, holidays is the time to eat.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, you can order 2 or 3 and then.
I think I only I'm going to choose one, and then if you can recommend the rest, I think that would be good. So,
I would suggest you choose by yourself.
Yeah. That's better. Okay.
I have too much. I had a.
You have conflict about what people okay. So then I'll choose the mapo tofu.
Okay, that one is very spicy, right?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I can't find it right now. The what's it called?
Rice cooked pork?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the top one, yeah.
Okay.
Rice cooked pork.
Yeah. And that's it. I think
Okay.
that'll be it.
Do you want steamed rice? Steamed rice for sure, right?
Yeah, just rice is fine.
That should be all right.
Okay, yeah.
That's simple.
Oh, actually, maybe I'll change. Sorry, let me change. Maybe. Okay, I'm going to change the 2 cooked pork to yushang zhoshi.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to add vegetable as well?
In there?
No, do you want like another vegetable?
Oh no, I think it's fine. I think it's fine.
Okay. Yeah, but both of them a little bit heavy flavor.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. Yeah. Actually, I like to try the mapo tofu in like Chinese restaurants.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, because like you can taste the variety.
Okay, yeah, it's every restaurant does it differently.
Everyone does it differently.
Yeah, mapo tofu, even the yushang roast as well.
Okay.
Okay. You know,
but I put I like the basic, and that's one of my. I like that. I like that.
Yeah, great. Yeah. So the camera will continue. Will continue, and then it's downstairs.
Okay, sure. So it's recording.
Yeah. It's always recording. You know the sweet spicy pork strips, the one you ordered.
Yeah.
That one I used to before I had a restaurant. I go all the Chinese restaurants. That's the one I always order.
You always order. Okay.
It's
yeah. There's some things you just want is comfort.
Yeah. It's like a test as well.
Yeah.
It's like it's a staple item.
Yeah.
For Chinese restaurant.
Yeah. No. Totally. So I mean. I've also lived in the U.S. for many years, and yes, everywhere you go, Chinese restaurants is always different. It always changes based on the local culture.
I forgot to ask which year you were born, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, 90. So
1990.
Yeah. So I'm 32.
Wow, that's a good year.
Year of the horse.
32, that's amazing. I'm 43. I'm year the goat. Year before,
Yeah.
So we have one cycle, and then so 11 years old. Then
yeah.
So like in Canada, what year you started? Like not from Edmonton. After
so I came here for university.
Which one?
McGill.
McGill.
So I came here originally.
Just been here recently.
Oh no, not recent. I've been here more than 10 years.
Oh, more than 10 years. Okay.
Not recent, but I really just chose Montreal. I didn't know anyone here. I didn't know the city.
That's interesting. I had some customers from the United States in the last summer. They just came for McGill University.
Yeah.
You got a lot of good universities in the United States, like
But at the time, I'm still just Canadian citizen.
Okay.
I don't have American citizenship
Okay.
yet. So it was price wise, it would have been cheaper.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
That's why.
Even for the American citizens, it's much cheaper here too.
Yeah.
That's one of the.
Yeah.
At least I saw two families. They send their kids to McGill University here. Like in last summer when I chat a little bit with them.
Yeah.
And it's always, I guess, end of August about that time, mid-August. Yeah. So the parents came here with their child their son or daughter to go to university.
Yeah.
Like they were from United States, and then I asked why, because we got all Canadians, like we go other way, we go all our kids, we try to go to United States.
Right. No, it's true. It's surprising that they come here because even with the international tuition, it's cheaper.
Yeah.
But it had a good reputation.
Yeah, McGill is great. So what kind of what major did you study?
Oh, I studied. In university, I was all over the place, so I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I think.
Are you another good planner?
No. I was not actually in university. I was not a very good student, actually. I think when I came here, it was a very exciting city. And I was 18 by myself. A lot of freedom. Yeah. So I like to say I enjoyed the city life more than I.
2008, 2009.
2008, yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
That time I was here already.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I moved here when I was 2017. That was like 16, 17 years ago. Okay. 2006 or 2005.
Okay.
The first time we did 2005. Yeah. So probably saw each other sometime.
So I did McGill years here, and then after that I went back home or where my parents lived at the time.
Still Boston?
No, in North Carolina.
North Carolina,
yeah.
A little bit far, right? That's like.
It's about direct flight. It's actually direct flight. Maybe
you don't drive.
No, it's 2.5 hours flight. Yeah, so it's not that far. And then I started working here in sales.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, recently got laid off, so right now that's why I have the time to
do this interview. Yeah.
to do this. Yeah. So currently I'm unemployed. Yeah.
What kind of field like they lay off people right now? There's a lot of. It's like a sales. Which field?
Oh, I was selling sales of POS. So like the machine, like the Clover machine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that was POS. Yeah.
Seriously, we just switched to Clover recently.
Oh, okay.
This month.
Oh, okay. What did you use before?
It was Moneris.
Moneris, okay.
Moneris was, the reason it's kind of we've been them like from day one.
Okay.
Almost 9 years with Moneris.
Okay. So yeah, I think Clover just first of all, I was only selling to U.S. customers, nothing Canadian. But I think Clover just came into the Canadian market fairly recently.
Probably more than because like I like Alamococo a lot, but a lot of years back, I guess 7-8 years ago or 6, I'm not sure, but right before right when they started the Alamococo, the branch, the brand Alamococo, the breakfast place, brunch place.
Oh yes. Okay, yes. There's one right here.
Exactly. It's the number one franchise for number one franchise for the branches.
Okay.
Like this one, I go there often. The cross street.
Yeah.
So I guess they started 6-7 years ago, and the first time they used I saw them using this Clover. It's pretty neat. So it's very kind of big screen, and then you just tap on screen.
Yeah.
All the options. That time Moneris was still very behind the machine.
Yeah.
The machine is kind of, I guess, it's working well.
Okay. How do you like your new Clover POS system?
It's amazing. It's the Flex, the smallest, the portable. Yeah. They have the mini station that's like overkill for us. It's big.
Yeah. So just to let you know, when I was working for my former company, Clover was our biggest competitor. So I would switch people from Clover.
Seriously? Okay.
And the business model was like this. Okay. People would call who had a Clover system. They would call us or call me on Google, thinking they were calling their provider.
Okay.
So they call me. They have a problem. They have their price is too high. They think they're calling Clover, but they're actually calling a different company, which is.
That's my only. I still live in the bubble. I believe for this kind of a market, because as a restaurant owner, you always get calls from the post machine, those kind of payment systems.
Yeah.
We got calls from a lot of
I'm
different.
sure.
Some of them I never heard of. Some small, some big. But right now my impression is in Montreal. At least right now, I see Clover is dominating. It's getting a lot of. They are getting a lot of grabbing a lot of
The market
customers
share.
from Monaris.
Okay.
A lot of them. You see the bubble tea restaurant, the new ones, they all using Clover because it's fancy.
So I'll be honest, I don't know
It's
much
trendy.
about the Canadian market, because American market is a little bit different. Mostly what I sold was cash discount, which is not legal in Canada. What it is, like, instead of you paying the fees,
Okay.
for your customer, you pay fees for
For the transaction
fees. Okay. So instead of you, the business owner, paying that, you can have it so that it's passed off to the customer. The customer pays the cost of using the credit card.
Right now in Canada, they
illegal.
starting. No, they start already.
They start.
So the merchant, they can charge extra for the transactions to the customers. I guess I saw that 2 months, few months ago, several months ago, they started doing in Canada already. But you're gonna anger some customers because you kind of pass that cost to the customers.
Yeah. So it's much more popular in the US because it's legal. Yeah.
US does a lot of crazy stuff.
It's more crazy, for sure. And actually, in Quebec, it's not allowed. Legally, Quebec's not legally allowed to have that.
Okay, you can start.
Okay, thank you.
That's amazing. The things I see Clover right now, what they're doing, the rate what they explain to me is the basic cost for Visa or Mastercard always the same. Every company the same. If that's true, And then the payment processing company, they charge extra fee called the transaction fee.
Yeah.
So some is 0.50% or 0.20% or 0.10%.
Yeah.
That's the extra charge they on top of the basic the standard.
Interchange. They call it IC. Interchange.
So that's true, right?
Yeah. For anything, what I learned from the industry is that it's very confusing. Okay, it can be very confusing, and it tries to trick the business owner to paying more. So
but what I saw what they offer, the Clover, the transaction fee rate, the rate is much more competitive than the Monaris. And on top of that, I'm very loyal person. I've been with Monaris for 9 years. So even I know the rate is much higher from Monaris. They charge me, I don't want to say the number, but it's more like much more than what they offer Clover. But the only reason I try to switch, or not the only reason, the last straw is I just found out from the statement from Monaris, last whole year, they hiked the rate, transaction rate, almost 60-70% without calling me or whatever. But it's written there, you can see. But as a business owner, sometimes you are busy, you just overlook things.
For
Only
sure.
when you file tax returns, you get all the materials to the accounting companies, and then you kind of give them the statement for the Monaris, and then you find out what the hell. Last year the rate was this much, then this year the transaction fee was this percentage. It's like 60% or 70% increase without even calling or letting me or write me email saying recently we kind of, even the Google whatever, they changed the policy, they send you email. Recently we update our policies, but then they are not sending an email or call to say, recently we changed our kind of the rate on the transaction fee. And it's huge increase.
Unfortunately, these kind of stories, it happens all the time. Now, with my experience working on this side, it happens all the time.
Because I've been with them 9 years. Kind of, it's a courtesy sometimes. Like we're loyal to, and then every month I see the cost for the transaction, or overall the cost of the car payment system is a lot.
It's a lot. It can be quite a bit. So my I guess my suggestion is it's great that you got a better offer. That's great. just keep an eye on.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, like every month, like really.
Yeah, to see. But also the on top of that is the machine. The machines, Monoris, comparing to it's crap.
Okay.
It's just like we try to upgrade several times with them with the machine.
Yeah.
The latest model, the mobile model on the Android system, it freezes several times, like in a month. Okay. Like when the customer like tap the card, just saying system processing, just staying there, freezing there. So it's and also the cost of the terminals is a lot more than like the Clover. So it's not most time the competitors they have good aspect here or there, but it's one-sided on all those aspects. It's really amazing. That's why I'm saying, is that only me or like maybe the industry is leaning, the Clover is taking over? From taking over the business from...
Clover is the biggest POS provider in the US also.
Yeah, that's I'm an IT engineer, so I like to Google, do some research. After I kind of had the conversation with the Clover rep, so I did a research. They're from Wells Fargo, the bank. So it's the first data in Canada called first data. So it's kind of first data. You know, you don't see that's a huge group, financial group comparing to IBC and the BMO, who you know, like Monoris is like created by BMO and IBC.
Or they always partnered up.
Yeah, exactly. So, but then the Wells Fargo, and then the website, the experience is way better. So, you know, they have everything. You have transaction happening real time. You're going to show up on the website. Okay. It's like all aspects they beat them. Like it's crazy. I'm an IT guy. I always say like it's right now the day and age. You have to be really get the information out to the customers. You know, everything like the software website, the features they provide to the merchants, like customers, like us business owners, is way better than like. It's looks like it's a real company. Like,
I should just want a fun fact: the founder of Clover, the IT department, is Chinese.
Really?
Maybe that's.
it's you see. Look at the features or functionalities like from the website. They can provide the information to the business owners. That's amazing. It's like first class. It's the IT or these financial institutions. Their website is supposed to be like that. You know, it's like right now you cannot have like a website has the little like last century kind of website. And it's
okay. So I'm glad you like the upgrade then. Right?
Yeah, it's amazing. Just go ahead.
Okay. Go ahead and taste them.
So it's the transaction fee, the rate they provide me is kind of it's not real. It looks not real, but we will see like after like 1 year or two. And the good thing for the post systems is like they have a lot of players right now, a lot of them, a lot of small ones. So competing, you know. So I'm not worried about like Clover is not good one day. You know, you can always switch. Because a lot of competitors in this business right now.
Yeah, I would also suggest like if you're ever not happy with your rates, is that there's always room to negotiate.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you always play that game. But it does take time.
Yeah, the first time I called the Monoris to say I'm probably gonna switch because you guys did not tell me the rate, the change, the huge increase, and also I'm leaving or something. The first time I called them, the guy, the person on the other end of the phone, even did not try to say like we probably can lower the rate for you since you've been with us 9 years. Okay. And then I did the switch and then I set up everything with Clover and then I called them to formally ask them to close them. Then the second they transfer to another person who could be the supervisor. She tried to say like probably we can look at the rate, but it's kind of too late. Even you look at the rate, but the room is not possible to match at all. It's several times higher, several times, not only like percentage. You know, it's crazy. But if they keep losing this kind of losing customer like this rate, I don't think they're gonna do well.
It's competitive, like a capitalistic society. So it's always the best. If
they overlook this kind of competitors, what the other competitors doing, if they overlook for overextend time, that could be big trouble. You always have new players, they want to get your business. Like if you're in a good position, you always probably you're gonna look, okay, we lose a little bit ground here or there, but then you kind of take countermeasures, right? You're gonna say like, what we can do. But if you keep not looking at them, continue the way you are doing and keep losing the customer, don't care about their feedbacks, and then probably over time you lose the ground 100%.
No, for sure. Maybe they were a bit of a monopoly in the area, because I think their headquarters is in Montreal, Monaris.
Yeah. They're pretty good in Saint Laurent. I guess in Saint Laurent, they're pretty good at the beginning. The machine, everything, it's not trendy, it's not very high tech, the terminals, but it's stable, it's working, people their support is amazing. Their support, the technical support, every time you call, you can have people answer, fix your problem, that's amazing. But if you have very much higher rate, and then your machine is obviously behind the time, the terminals, and then the other people trying provide much better rate, so you're gonna lose over time. And until like when you lose too much, and then even you want to turn, you're gonna lose anyway. It's that's the good business leaders. They want to. If we have, if they find them in trouble, the earlier the better, right? You have time to adjust. It's just like if you're like, interesting. I feel this really aggressive from Clover.
Okay.
Very, very aggressive.
Okay. What was I going to say? I forgot my thought here. From working in the industry and the sales side.
But you get a lot of commissions, right?
It can be very profitable. Yeah, it's very profitable, especially because the way I was selling, I was selling cash discount, passing on the fees to the customer, 4%.
You overpromise a lot of things as well. That's part of the sales.
I don't know about
the sales, they talk really well. They give a lot of promises, but they at the end have a lot of catches.
Yeah, I mean that's true. It's definitely true. No, for sure, that's part of the job. But what I sold was mostly to pass up the fees, like 4% to automatically pass on to the customer. So like you say, you're at gas stations, sometimes actually in the US they have a lot of times it's just cash price and then another sign, and then the card price. Those two are different. So that's it is common, but it doesn't work for every type of industry. So
what made you do this kind of sales? Sales, a lot of talking, right? All the skills of talking and the personality, the interperson, right?
Yeah.
So that's your interest, or like a lot of Chinese they like technology.
Yeah. I mean,
it's not stable. Like as parents, they always say, it's kind of you make a lot of money this period of time, and then you stay low, whatever. It's very fluctuating.
Yeah. No, for sure. My parents were definitely like a lot of immigrant Chinese parents. They wanted them to be a more traditional career, engineering, or doctor, lawyer, this kind of thing. Well, I guess my family, my sister's already a doctor, my older sister.
Yeah.
So she's got
back up.
My younger brother, he's a software engineer. So he's I guess I'm the odd one in the family. I'm the odd one in the family. How did I come to sales? Honestly, it was just almost by pure chance, pure luck, and. I guess I've had people tell me, when I was looking for a career, you would be good, you'd be good in sales. And then one day I came across this job and gave it a try, and the earning potential was good.
But is that what you learned at school, at the
McGill? No.
But what degree? Like you have bachelor or the master?
No, bachelor's, and so
you only have bachelor degree.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
That's not very common.
That's all. Yeah. That's all.
Yeah, a lot of people I know, they have at least like master or doctor degree.
Yeah. No, I saw, and what was I going to say? And actually, for a period of time, I thought about switching, like going into learning because I didn't major in computer science or anything like that. I thought about doing these like coding schools to learn coding. Anyway, but I think I'm happy with where I'm at now, and I continue my career in sales.
Okay. Yeah, but sometimes, but the major is not sales or marketing or psychology.
No. I was majored in economics and psychology at the end.
Okay.
I started out.
That's a good one. That's kind of related to the marketing, right?
Sort of. Yeah. I mean, I went to university, started out in sciences because, well, I guess, putting pressure on my parents,
Okay.
But
Is that part of science? You mean the economic and?
No. I started out in science.
Okay.
I was everywhere, so I was really,
Oh, in the university, you can choose a lot of at the beginning. Or
you can switch.
So,
You can switch.
okay.
Yeah, you can switch. So I had this like roller coaster ride during university, not knowing.
But you graduate in time, so you get all the credit points within 4 years, or like you get
Well, like in like 5 years, yeah.
5 years.
5 years, exactly, yeah.
So more than 1 year, more than like typical 4 years, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
That's a plus point. You get 1 more year there.
Yeah, one more year of university experience. That's for sure.
So that's yeah. You have business and psychology. Yeah, that really helps actually. I guess.
Well, I think a lot of times, like a lot of immigrant parents, they'll think, you need to have like established degree, a lot of advanced degree, just like how it was in China. But it may not always work like that in Canada.
Yeah.
For certain fields.
But the first job like that, I suppose like 5 years, probably 2013 you graduate, right?
Yeah.
Or 13 or 14.
Yeah.
So.
And I also after 2013, spent a few years in the U.S. working for my our family friend's business in the U.S. Doing helping out with this import-export business from China.
That does not need like what you learn from school, right?
No.
Just talking, just
A lot of things like what I learned in school, I don't use at all.
But right now, as you see, like I guess it's like especially when you're young, if you work in more fields, you get more understanding of different areas. Like that could be very beneficial when you make a kind of little bit later when you have more opportunities to see like you can stick to one direction.
Yeah.
Or you're still searching, right? But you look like you are more fit in the sales.
Yeah, I think
You don't want to switch around anymore.
Because I was good at what I was doing.
But how many years you get this?
Oh, maybe 2.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you feel like that could be a.
Yeah, because I was doing well. I got promoted, and the earning potential was good. Is the reason why I haven't started jumping back into work now is because I'm actually going on a big trip in February for like 2.5 weeks. So I don't want to
cruise.
No, I'm actually I'm going to a little island in the Pacific called Tahiti. Yeah. So,
it's not setting up like a company like.
No, company just to travel.
Like a tax shelter.
No, I wish. I wish. No, just to travel. Just to travel with my girlfriend, and she has friends who live there for a year. Yeah,
that's great life.
I don't know, but so I'm very grateful to have the opportunity. So I don't want to start working now and then.
Yeah, how's the dish?
It's good. Oh, it's good. It's good. It's very good now. It's up to it's a lot though. I don't think I can finish it by myself. So
don't worry, you can put it in a box or whatever.
There's no way I can. I was really expecting you to eat with me because today. If I lose this battle,
very difficult to get back. I have some numbers for the weight. The past that for a day or two, you will see you're gonna put extra effort to bring back to the number.
Right now, that's not my problem. My problem is like putting on weight.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm still
a little bit on the skinny side.
Yeah,
some people they just have the kind of their body just don't get weight.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how much they eat. Some friends they just keep skinny.
Yeah.
Eat a lot of food, but.
So that's my problem too. I don't know if it's a good problem, but for now. But I do see that I saw you in a lot of jerseys, a lot of a lot of soccer jerseys. So you seem to have
for me, it's save money.
Oh yeah.
I don't like buying clothes. It's easy. I want simple. Also, I play soccer. That's why I have several.
But I was saying that you seem to have play soccer. You have an athletic background. So losing weight should be easy.
No, it's not. It's just I play only once a week. It's also I'm not playing well either. So it's just to exercise a little bit. But the problem is for me, if I eat regularly or whatever, like 2 or 3 meals a day, I gain weight. It's really weird. It's really bad. But sometimes I just cannot stop. Like if I start eating, for example, twice cooked pork, or the stuff 1 plate, or even doesn't matter it's 1 plate or 2 plates in front of me, I cannot finish all of them. So that's maybe my problem. I don't realize a lot of food I take in, but I always that's why I have to be really careful.
Okay. What is your favorite or 2 favorite dishes on the menu?
Probably twice cooked pork or braised pork belly. That kind of little bit fatty food.
Got it.
But once a while, you eat a lot, and then you realize, it's too much. Then you stop.
I almost never have that problem.
For me, it's especially when I'm 40. During I passed my 40 years old around the pandemic, so it's a lot of people saying when you hit the age of 40, your body does not work the same way before, so you have to be really careful. And also the pandemic, I almost work almost every day in the restaurant, so I feel the age right now. I feel really I have to be extra careful, I guess.
Yeah.
Keep the machine running a little bit longer.
No, I think I read a few interviews where you were quoted as saying that you worked during the pandemic. You worked over 100 hours per week. Is that right?
Yes, yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah, as a small business owner, we are lucky to be able to work 100 hours. Some some even did not survive.
Okay.
Even you work 100 hours, you still cannot keep it afloat.
Okay, wow.
So it's a lucky one, I guess.
I
always say I'm lucky to be able to work, or they give me the opportunity to work hard, or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, but I just can't. And this was after you got a lot of publicity on social media.
The publicity happened January 2021, so almost 2 years. Almost 2 years exact. Actually, that's exact 2 years.
Exactly 2 years ago.
Yeah. So we were lucky, but the first year, the pandemic, 2020, was pretty bad. Also, I worked really hard to save the cost, to make up the loss of labor and everything, loss of revenue. So I had to work really hard. So
I'm sure. I'm sure of it. Yeah.
It's kind of just pandemic is really bad to the small businesses.
I'm sure.
Overall, by average, a lot of people, the owners of small businesses, especially the restaurants, it's pretty hard. It's not friendly. Pandemic is not friendly.
I think if you just walk along, some streets, and you see, this restaurant no longer there, that restaurant's no longer there. So, I could say congratulations.
And also, I also really amazed a lot of new players into the restaurant business, like really brave, you know. Some they saw the opportunity, maybe, you know, it's like an investment, like you see the bottom, right? But that may not be the bottom. You know, in this environment right now, with the inflation, the shortage of labor, especially, actually, I'm not sure, like the layoff you experience, like on the top, like corporation level, big company, they start laying off people right now. So it's kind of like the high paying jobs they're cutting, but lower wages jobs, like we just could not find enough people.
Okay.
It's still on the low wage section of the economy, so still shortage of labor is still a big thing. But I guess
you experience that here too?
All the time. Okay. Yeah, during the pandemic, all the time. Even the shortage of labor before the pandemic in Quebec, in Montreal area, was we felt they were talking about that already before the pandemic.
I see. Okay.
Shortage of labor.
I see, and during the pandemic,
just make it 10 times worse.
I just want to share something with you. I don't remember when I first. I was probably during COVID. Everything locked down with my computer, and I randomly just came across a news article about you and your restaurant.
Oh yeah, that's
just randomly, okay. And you know, I read your quote, and I laughed because you know, because it's like it's so honest. You know, it's so honest. But it's very true. Like honest but true.
Yeah, I think like for the small business, you know, you don't have to oversell. To be honest, it's a business. You try, you fail, you succeed, you make your living. If you fail, you fail. It's not a big deal. You don't have to. For me, just for the Chinese business, restaurant business, like here, the dishes we sell here, I feel like we have to give more information to the potential customers. So it's better to tell them what they are, or like, you know, you don't want to oversell. Like try to attract a lot of customers. They are not your real customers. They have a much higher expectation. When they get here, waste the money or really get disappointed, it's not worth it sometimes. Like you always try your best. My idea is like I work really hard. I'm learning a lot. Even today, I'm learning English like crazy. But it's like always try. But if you fail, you fail. You know, sometimes it's not your thing. Even the restaurant business, I've been in this 9 years. But if next 2 years, or I have to close the business, fail. It's you tried and you failed, and then it's not bad thing.
That's a great mindset.
Yeah, I always try, but I thought before I was doing the IT for 18, 19 years.
I read that too, actually. I remember reading that.
I always thought I was not good at technology at all. I get materials, manuals I read, I figure out how to configure things to set up the technology. Like if you give me the material to read, understand, I'm probably a little bit above average, my capability or ability, whatever, to understand the new technology. I was above average or around average. That wasn't, you know, but I'm always interested about like communication, like interperson things, organizing, team working, like that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But not very good at technical. But majority of the time in the previous, like my IT career, I was doing the very technical thing.
I see.
But only a few years, 2 or 3 years, I was doing the project management, doing the technical field. So I was in charge of a small team of who's doing what, like customer-facing project implementation, that kind of stuff. I kind of enjoyed most during my IT career.
I see.
So I like that. So having a restaurant, this kind of is ultimate like interperson thing. Like not only dealing with customers, I have to deal with staff. Yeah. All the employees, you know, everybody has their own personalities, the way of talking, way of communications, his personalities, characters, and then it's fun. it's crazy.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gives you a lot of trouble. Sometimes you want to give up. So
But you're your own boss, though. You're the boss.
yeah,
you know?
but you take all the responsibilities. That's scary, especially you are tied to the lease or the cost, the fixed cost of the business. If you fail, you're gonna financially lose a lot.
Mhm.
So that kind of stuff, it's
That's
Some
oh thank you. Actually, that's something I remembered reading that was that you had an IT career, and then just started owning this restaurant. So
I was bored that I started 9 years, but I was having IT job at the same time having the restaurant. I was always playing safe. I had a stable income, weekly check, and then as long as the
and a
restaurant,
family.
and as long as the restaurant was not losing crazy money, was okay. Breaking even was ideal.
Okay.
So I was always playing safe because I had no saving, little bit saving to cover the potential loss or failure of the business.
Mhm.
So that's the calculation at the beginning. So I just work a little bit harder. It's the first 7 years of the last 2 or 3 years, I'm not working IT anymore during the pandemic because of the pandemic. And now I'm full time here. I'm fully committed. Before was not.
Oh, I didn't realize. I didn't remember reading that you hadn't. You're still working your IT job while.
Yeah, for 6 years.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So you must have been working like
Yeah.
more hours,
Exactly.
many hours.
But that's because at after first year, the restaurant was running well on its own. So I was even I worked more hours, but I was not that desperate on financial aspect. So I was kind of a little bit relaxing so we get people working, and then I came to help after work.
Mm-hmm.
So was not doing bad at all financially. So it was kind of, I did not have that much pressure at that time. Like financial pressure. But like if the whole family income is relying on the restaurant business now, and you feel the pressure,
I'm sure.
I don't think I can go back to the IT field anymore.
One thing I just want to ask you as a restaurant owner, is that I'm thinking myself, okay, if I want to open a Chinese restaurant, I don't. Okay? But I'm just thinking from a business perspective. Like there are a lot of Chinese restaurants around. A lot of competition.
Yeah.
Like how at the time, how were you confident to say, okay, mine amongst all the many restaurants, that mine is going to be, will succeed, will do well.
I guess that's one of the stupid reasons I had. I always, even today, I still think it's kind of a mistake for me to start the restaurant business, even today, because I think with my dedication to improve myself with communication and language skills, I think if I stay focused on my IT career, I could be promoted or I could advance my career relatively well.
Okay.
I'm more like reading people, I kind of like kind of very, very observing kind of person. So I think with my work ethics, I think I could, if I commit to the IT career, very kind of focused, I think I could advance pretty well. So, but
Are you saying you regret your choice? No, you don't.
No, it's always I tell everybody having a restaurant because I knew nothing about restaurant business.
Right.
But I was confident about my communication skills with different walks of life. The different people, and also I work really hard. And another thing is I'm very organized as a IT engineer. So the reason I started at the beginning, the first thing I was bored, really bored, like really light workload in the job, really bored. And also like I thought I could change or make a little bit change with my input on the restaurant, Chinese restaurant. So I kind of thought I could bring my own kind of understanding of the restaurant business. And with my over-organized way of thinking, I thought I can make it more like the procedures, workflow, the procedure thing improvement in the business. But then that turned out a little bit disaster, to be honest. It's like you can have the workflow set up, but it has to be people to implement
the right people.
and it's very, very difficult all of people working for you to buy into your idea. For them, you are really stupid or silly because you are outsider. You know, it's you don't put your hands in the daily work,
right.
And then you had no experience at all.
Right.
You have all you have is ideas.
Yeah.
It's
in your mind.
Exactly. So they think also it's not high paid jobs. So you don't expect like people like doing the IT, people more motivated, or like if you pay them extremely high, probably you have sell them ideas. Let's get this job done. Let's produce a really great product or services or whatever. You know. But in this field, the kind of low wage kind of section, that kind of thing doesn't apply. You know, those kind of things. You know, it's that's why I don't know. Even today, I'm still searching for, you know, like what do I do, like in this business or like overall in my life. It's always searching. I'm still searching for like the directions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
interesting to hear that, because from the outsider, you know, from someone you know who doesn't know what's going on, you would think, you know, all this publicity, you know, all this, you know, business doing.
A lot of my Chinese friends thought I made a lot of money. Like when they say like, oh, some nights you have a lot of customers, you're so busy, you must have made a lot of money.
Yeah, with all the new customers. Yeah, that's what normal people would think. I mean, that's what I think too. You know.
It's very interesting. All the people see on the surface, like you have busy business or whatever, like you must be successful or you have more money or something. But they really don't know the cost behind, and then what you have to do make sure that things not going wrong. You know, that's why, you know, it's kind of, even the billionaires maybe they have their troubles, the you know, they have worries. But for me, it's I know firsthand, especially the last 3 years during the pandemic, it changed everything for me. Like I was laid off in the IT job the end of April 2020. Otherwise, I'm still stick there. It's a great job, to be honest. The last job I had was 12 years. I had it 12 years.
Oh wow. Okay.
So so the pandemic changed my everything.
Forced you to change.
Yeah, forced me. I'm not. Some people saying like you are really bold to open a restaurant, to start a business without knowing nothing about it.
Yeah.
It's kind of only one-time thing. I was brave. I was risk taker.
Yeah.
But most of my time, I'm very conservative, very cautious. But in your whole life, you just make one big move. Nobody understands. Nobody say, this guy would never do this kind of risky stuff. But you do it only one time.
Yeah. Must have surprised a lot of friends.
Yeah, exactly. Right? They all say, no, you don't do this kind of thing. And a lot of
it's out of character.
Yeah. A lot of friends told me, like, even they have the real friends end up divorcing. Like when you have husband and wife, the couple working the small business, restaurant business, you have the daily, every day you have the tiny decisions, like who does what, and those kind of small decisions. Few years together, even some people cannot survive 2 or 3 years working together on this, and especially when you deal with possible loss of money for the business, or at the beginning is struggling, and you always have fights between the husband and wife, and a lot of them end up divorcing.
I've seen that. I've seen that with my family friends.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's never a good idea. I always think
never.
Can I ask you, is your wife involved in the business, or?
At the beginning, it's her idea.
Oh, it's her idea. Okay.
Because during the day I had to work, so she was there majority of the time. Now it's opposite.
Okay.
So like after the pandemic, like especially this year, I'm here every day. She's not here at all. So we have a kid living in the West Island, so she has to stay in West Island because of the traffic. So
I see.
So now it's opposite. I feel like I'm betrayed or I'm like tricked. So it's totally opposite. Yeah, because at the beginning it's her business. Now it's my business. And which I don't like at all. I spend way too many hours here. So you know, it's unfortunate. It kind of totally reversed.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it is like if you look at the objectively, probably I'm sold to the idea. I was kind of, you kind of get me to on this boat.
Yeah.
Then you left the boat.
Yeah.
I'm the only one on the boat right now. So I'm working the front, working the back myself. Yeah. So it's very, very interesting. In the beginning, she was there most of the time. I just help on the side. Now I'm totally here 7 days a week.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Because I mean, with all the media, with all the television press, your face is the face of the the restaurant.
Yeah. I hope our business can survive, but unfortunately, it is the reality. It's like I'm stuck here.
You're stuck.
But that's why I regret having it. But since I'm in it, I'm kind of the person. I try to improve. I don't want to jump ship.
Yeah.
To say like, oh, let's change direction 180 degrees.
Yeah.
It's kind of I try to improve to see. I try my best to make sure this is my life career. This is my goal in my life.
Right.
But I'm still searching better ideas or whatever. But first of all, I have to make the restaurant business work feasible.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, the financial situation for the family could be in big trouble.
Got it. Okay, so it means you have a wife and you have like one kid. Two kids?
Yeah, just one daughter. She's 10.
Okay.
I don't see her often, but in the morning I drop her at school, and then right after that I have to come to restaurant.
I see.
Very, very tough.
Yeah, it must be.
But
I think last time. Sorry. I think when a year ago when we spoke, we briefly talked about, what it means to be, a Chinese or an immigrant, but also be living in a different culture, like Chinese Canadian. I think you had a few questions about that.
You want me or
no? Yeah. No, you asked me.
Okay.
So you asked me about what it means to be to be in two cultures at once.
But seriously, do you feel a lot of Chinese on your side, or since you left, you're not typical Chinese. You are the 0.5 generation. You are not. Maybe you are
technically
0.75 generation. Yeah.
Technically, I'm still considered first generation because I was born in China. And
that's
technically.
Not first. It's a 175.
No.
1.75.
In English, I'm still technically first generation.
Yeah. You are not born. You are not born.
No, I was not born.
But can you be? You can run for the prime minister in Canada, right? If you're not born here, yeah, I think
so.
On US, you cannot.
That's true. Yeah,
Canada, you still can be a prime minister.
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of it's funny you asked that question because a lot of Chinese dads all know this fact, but the kids never care. They never wonder.
Yeah.
All the Chinese dads, our family friends, they all mention this actually. But no, but I left when I was five years old, and I've only visited China once
all your life
since moving.
Seriously.
Yeah. So the last time I was in China was probably 18 years ago.
Jeez. So your parents, they're not very much tied to their hometown.
So the reason is because both my grandparents from both sides they passed away.
Okay. So they don't
have those,
exactly.
And plus there's
only siblings.
Yeah, and there's a lot of family drama.
Yeah.
A lot of family drama. So I think it was to avoid the drama, because there is a big difference in terms of our life conditions too. But now, funny enough, now it's kind of full circle. Now my dad works and has now a business now in China.
Seriously?
Yeah.
But he's a professor or something?
No, he was not. He was in the academia. He was, doing postdoc here. But that was not earning money.
Okay.
So he eventually went to the private sector, as a private scientist, like pharmaceuticals. So now he just has his pharmaceutical.
Wow, that's during the pandemic. He must make tons of money.
I don't know. It's just
it's great business.
Yeah. It's going well. It's going well, and it's based in in Suzhou.
Okay,
So that's why I
Suzhou is
knew.
amazing.
That's why I recognized some of the pictures downstairs.
Yeah. Suzhou is a
But I've never.
powerhouse.
Okay.
Economic powerhouse.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
one of the Suzhou is, I guess, top 3, top 4, like powerhouse, economic center.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and so
Suzhou is one of the biggest.
it's next to Shanghai.
Yeah. Probably the first one would be Shanghai, Shenzhen, Beijing, and then Guangzhou. Like Suzhou is on the same level.
Okay.
Yeah, it's top.
Okay, I didn't know that. But that's why I'll be visiting China soon.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah. So now I'll be my first time in 18 years, first time in Suzhou.
Yeah. Suzhou is pretty good, pretty big. It's,
yeah. So there's that. There's that going on.
But what, like the Chinese tradition? What do you feel like Chinese tradition or like?
No. I mean, no, not at. Lived in U.S. and Canada for so long.
How's
totally changed.
How's your Chinese speaking capability?
Oh, it's just so. Just so.
So you can have the conversation. No
I mean, I can have a conversation, but I can't talk about like a lot of my feelings. More the deeper,
Okay.
I can talk basic things. Very basic. But if you want to tell me, if you want to ask me about how I feel about something, that my vocabulary is.
Yeah. Also, you're not reading Chinese news.
Oh, absolutely not. No. I would need.
I'm really glad. Otherwise, you're gonna have a lot of trouble there. Not trouble, but you're gonna have a lot of the ideas here or there because it's really divided on the internet as well.
I see.
Especially when you read a lot of stuff, articles in Chinese and then English, and then you all of the places like it's contradicting here or there. It's kind of tormenting.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, I only read.
Exciting your mind at least.
I only read English articles about China, so it may be biased. Might be biased too. So who knows what the truth is? But who knows what the truth.
I guess I need to get some hot water in the tea.
No, it's okay. I think it's fine.
No, I get some. You want more like water or
hot water is fine actually.
Hot water?
Just hot water is fine.
Okay, so this.
All right.
It's really hot.
Yeah, thank you.
So, but are you interested in learning more Chinese tradition or the language, whatever?
Yeah, I think so. I am. I always like to learn a little bit more about the culture, different traditions. I do think my Chinese, like my language skills, are not very good. It takes me a very long time to improve.
Yeah.
That's something I'm working on. Yeah, something working on.
Yeah, but right now, if you start learning a reading, that you don't plan to start learning the reading and writing. That was too difficult. I guess.
Oh yeah, that's too difficult. That's. I mean, it would be a 2 or 3 year commitment, dedicated commitment. And you really need the school. You really need
that's crazy.
I
guess. Yeah, it's like when you are super young, you look at those characters, probably not too bad, but.
Yeah, but when you get older,
it's just too much to read those to remember.
Yeah, it's a lot of, and I don't think I have the same work ethic as someone who's just immigrated from China.
Yeah, but what's your what's your idea about what you want to do or later on, like what do you want to achieve, like in your life, like you want to become?
Yeah. So I don't really have a defined goal.
Okay.
Yeah. that's that. Sometimes that could be a problem. Like I don't, when you don't have a defined goal. Sometimes I think if you live in Canada, you can get very comfortable, complacent. Okay.
That's why people get more creative. Maybe they want to be a writer. Right now, it's blogging. It's could be a YouTuber or some write articles. Like I see a lot of people. They got a lot of ideas. Are you familiar with Substack?
Substack, no.
Yeah, there's a Substack is paid services like is subscription based kind of article.
Okay.
Some writers they just write whatever.
Okay.
The cultures, art, politics, or the sports, everything. Some writers they just have the channel or whatever their own thing, and then the people subscribe to them. Some free subscribers, some paying subscribers, so they get the income. A lot of them very popular right now. So the big names they make like $500,000 a year or like $1 million, so they can support their livelihood, make a living.
They're freelance, right? They're just doing it by themselves.
Yeah, a lot of people. As long as you have ideas, you express your ideas. Some could be really people you have following. If you're good at the writing or the English language, not bad, and then people have their ideas about phenomenon or culture or here or there. So the writing, some, especially Canada, a lot of people there, they have their stuff on the side of their full-time job or their career.
Like a side income,
No,
I've never considered that. I mean, I know people do it. I just.
But what do you want to define? Like you have. Let's assume you always let's assume you have a successful sales career. You sell a lot of services, products, and then get commission, have a really nice kind of stable income over the next 30 or 40 years. But then on top of that, what else do you?
Just a correction, just a quick correction. All the sales job I've looked into, there was a salary plus commission. Plus commission. So there's always a stable salary. Plus. Okay. And back to your question.
When you get all this kind of, you kind of financially will be okay, fine. Yeah. On top of that, you feel like, I want to have some things done. I'm good at something.
No, I don't have something defined yet. I really don't have defined.
Or some people I want to watch a lot of great movies. I want to be good at.
Well, I think for now, something I want to do is I want to travel more, go to the places I've always wanted to go to, especially during COVID.
I feel like I don't like traveling at all because all those kind of famous stuff I can watch them on TV. I never been to Great Wall. I saw Great Wall on TV so many times. So why do I bother to?
Oh, I have to disagree with that statement. No, it's not the same. I have to disagree with that, because if using that logic, I could say, I traveled all the world, I looked at on the internet. No. I think that's a very easy way.
But when you walk on the bricks or all the steps, it get a little bit extra feeling. That's for sure. But it's not worth the time you spend on the travel, spend the time over there. For me, I more like ideas. I want to explore ideas. I rather spend more time watching movies. Even I get ideas from movies because behind movies they all have directors, the playwriters. They want to tell you stories. They want to convey some kind of ideas. They are think of some stuff. So I probably gonna watch TV or read some books or watch some podcasts. Listen to get people talking to see like geez, you guys think of that, or some scientists or some people really great in their fields. So for me, it's like the ideas, all this kind of, or even learning English would be great. But if you tell me to go to Paris, like to visit some famous places, I watch it somewhere. I saw it somewhere. Especially the mountain climbing. Like I don't see the point. If you want to exercise, you can access different way and more kind of efficient. Like treadmill, elliptical trainers, you can have, get your body ready for. But then, I don't know, and also spend a lot of money too.
So this is where it's just personality different, difference in opinion, different in interest. I have to respectfully disagree. Actually, for the Paris part, I can say, this is actually relevant because this past summer I went to France and Paris for the first time. And so it was for me. I can only it was way better than than it was than just watching on TV.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I went there 12 years ago, I guess. Spent 9 days in Paris. But if I have a lot of other things to do, I think my money or my time will be well spent on other things. But it's nice, Paris. Before we had our baby, my wife and I went 16 days in Europe.
Okay.
Splitting between Paris and Rome.
Okay, nice. That's where we have to say, everyone has different interests, different, and so that's what it is. But I do also like, listening to podcasts and different ideas of, great ideas of people and scientists too.
For me, it's amazing. That's why I still like learning, improving English, so I can get more direct, first-hand information from some well-respected people in the world. The podcast, to.
Can I ask? Can I ask? How are you? What sort of things are you doing to improve your English?
Mostly, before I was watching a lot of YouTube videos. Before, when I was in the office, in the IT job, I had a lot of free time. So,
a lot.
Yeah, a lot of free time. So I watch a lot of YouTubes, and then now, in the restaurant, sometimes when you cut vegetables, when you do this. You cannot watch, but you can listen. So I always have my earphones on, the AirPods from Apple, which is great. So the podcast is very convenient for me when I have to work. So every day I probably listen at least 6-8 hours of podcast.
Oh. What are some of your? I listen to a lot of podcasts too. So what are some of your favorite ones?
I guess I listen to a lot of Lex Friedman.
Who is he?
It's an MIT professor, and who is really great. He interviewed a lot of
famous people,
scientists, the top people, and even the influential people. He's really smart. He's great on the machine learning and AI. Okay. And he's very strict. He's a Jiu-Jitsu black belt as well. That guy is super disciplined, like a machine.
Okay.
He's really disciplined. He's a Russian immigrant from Russia.
Okay.
I guess when he was young, but he's very influent in both Russian and English.
I see.
I see. So most famous people we heard of, on the scientific field or the public people. Zuckerberg, the Facebook founder, he was there. Yeah. And all of them famous people interviewed. And another is the Joe Rogan, the best in the world, in the number one podcast in the world. His stuff is a lot of bad language or all the stuff you can learn.
Bad language. It's very we call it raw. No edited, nothing.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of ranting from different guests.
I just find that it's just too long. It's each episode of 2 hours and 30 minutes.
The same thing here. It's
same thing here. Just maybe too long too. No, you have to put it on twice the speed. Do you ever use that? You put it on podcast twice the speed?
Not at all. You have to be really good at English to be able to do that. Okay. That speed is perfect for me. It's good. I mentioned in the last episode too, with Monica Hamburg, is the reason they are popular. One of the reasons I think they are number one podcast in 96 different countries. A lot of the majority of them not English-speaking country. I guess one of the reasons people are listening to him is they can learn English from the podcast as well. Especially you're in Brazil or you are in Mexico, a lot of people learn English. So if you listen to that kind of conversations with all different variety of people and all different scenarios, it helps you English. Learn English. Sure. That's I guess the big advantage of the native English speakers, either in UK or Canada or United States. The big advantage for them to have more followers is people for like me to try to learn English, it's much attractive more than other stuff. You know, they're always talking, always like debating here or there. They have arguments here or there. So you can see, you can hear how do they express their ideas. So that will help your English a lot. So they put you in all different scenarios, like in this kind of situation, or how do you express your opinion on this one, that. A lot of new words, a lot of new vocabulary. You can build that kind of also language patterns.
Yeah, but I imagine it's mostly because the content, like what they talk about.
No, the content is not important.
The content is not
No, for me, it's the benefit is always to keep people constantly talking, no silence. You know, if you watch, like for me, if I watch an action movie, I would say that helped me zero on the English part, learning English, because the action movie always, you know, the people, the Schwarzenegger or the Stallone, he's even not talking proper English, you know. It's like to be cool, whatever. The sound is coming from his throat, you know. He's not trying. He's trying to make you not understanding him, you know. So you get nothing.
Or he's sounding masculine.
Yeah. Just try to be cool or different, you know. He's trying to make you. All the audience don't understand my English. That would be his goal.
Trying to be exotic, something different.
Exactly. All those kind of action figures, like all those heroes in those action movies, they always try their best to not let you understand his English. You know, it's so for me, watch that. It's just every time only the mega movie or the very top action movie. I only watch those because for me it's a waste of time. I only want to see the special effect. All those like stunts, whatever, the scene, fighting scenes.
Yeah, which is also enjoyable.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only thing I watch for. And then after that, I regret. I'm learning. I waste my 2 hours, you know, for watching this like fake things. You know, they're fake. Everything is fake.
Yeah.
You know, and then you're not learning English. All of that. It's It's a waste of time for me. But if you listen, even I watch the Desperate Housewives. That's amazing for me because they constantly talk. They constantly talking.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's a surprising choice.
Yeah, for the perspective learning English, like that's perfect.
Oh yeah, so, the women fast talking.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, a lot of gossip, a lot of rumors.
And you talk about behind back about another woman, and then also in like when you have a house party, what do you say? What do you do? And you bake this kind of cookies, you bake that of cookies, and you have drama here, there. Yeah. It's amazing. So it covers a lot of aspects of life, and then you just learn new words, you know, from those kind of scenarios.
I just thought of something. I saw a show on Netflix. Kind of just reminded me of that. Okay, it's I'm not sure if you've seen it on Netflix. It's I guess a Singaporean Chinese woman. Okay. She teaches people, mostly the new rich, how to use their cutleries properly and how to properly behave. Okay,
that's, I think, right. Maybe 20 years ago it was good, but right now you don't have to be that formal. That thing is past, I guess. Yeah. Only even the top rich people, they don't behave that way.
She's trying to teach only the new rich because they want to be, you know, want to seem higher,
exactly.
You know?
higher,
classy. You know? So she's teaching them, you know. It's just funny. You know?
I guess even the royal family don't eat that way. They use chopsticks, I guess. They pick their bones or they grab their meat from bones, like use hands, I guess.
I don't know.
It's a more efficient way to eat everything with your hand because it's more nimble or more flexible. You know how to say flexible.
Dexterous.
Yeah, that's that kind of word I can.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, give me like another 10 years to get to. But I understand right away. But if you want me to see that word, it's very tough. But if you say it, I understand. So that's kind of we still have a long way to go for me.
No. So if you were to, if I, what advice would you have for me if I wanted to improve my Chinese speaking skills? What are some things I should do?
If you have a lot of time, just talk to people.
You talk to people?
Yeah, talk to people in Chinese, practice. Yeah, in the English, I spend way too much time on English. Yeah. I guess in Canada, 17 years, I never read any Chinese website
Okay.
for all 17 years.
Oh wow.
I try to avoid
Okay.
to read the articles in Chinese.
Okay.
Because it scared me too much Chinese the articles, the news in my head to kind of the space I guess in the brain is that much. The time I have to get more information in English.
Okay. So fun fact, my parents, my mom and dad, even though they've been outside of China for maybe 30 years or more, their English is still not very good.
Really?
Both my parents, my dad has a very heavy accent. My mom speaks very broken English, so you never really
Yeah,
learn.
a lot of my friends here too. They
never really learn English.
That's fine. My observation is a lot of immigrants my age, in 40s, some even like 30s, even younger than me, when they immigrate here, because we have too much information in Chinese on the internet.
Yeah.
So, and also a lot of people speaking Mandarin. So you don't have the incentive. So you just stay in your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Comfort zone.
Yeah.
So people just saying if I can get by speaking so much English, is fine. It's the motivation is not there. So that's if you're from India or something, the motivation of master or improving your English or the conversation level is much higher, I guess. So it's the Chinese, the language, the community is too strong. The pull, the magnetic field is too strong. So to get people, you get by. Even living in Toronto, if you don't speak any English, you get by. You go shopping, pharmacy, you get everything.
I've lived in Vancouver before, so I know.
Exactly. Vancouver, Toronto. So you don't have the motivation. There's no incentive to improve your English. I have a lot of friends here too. So they just think my English is not bad. It's okay. If I go to hospital, I get by. If I get to restaurant, I get by.
Yeah.
So I read news, I read articles in Chinese only. A lot of great Chinese apps.
Yeah.
They kind of news everything, all the gossips, everything. So that's the thing. If you're too good, your background language, the original language you come from, is too strong, too good.
Yeah.
So that kind of pull you back.
Yeah. You don't want to be uncomfortable. You don't want to start new again. I get it.
But for me, I spend way too much time on learning English. It's my interest. I'm very curious about how things done here, United States, everything, the culture, the stuff, what they're talking about, what they're doing. Very, very curious. I'm still today.
I don't think a lot of people are like you, actually. A lot of Chinese are like you. They're very, I've met, a lot of my family.
Yeah, exactly.
Friends.
I know. Yeah, I'm very, very different from even my friends. A lot of Chinese friends here. I'm very different from a lot of them.
I can tell you're very open-minded.
I'm a little bit crazy in there.
A little bit crazy. In their head, they think you're crazy.
Very different. Even the way of doing the business, the Chinese business, I'm very different because the approach to the business, how do I see it as a business? It's very different from. They gave me a lot of advices. I hear your advices, but I'm not doing it at all. So I'm here. I have all respects to. It's great to give me advices because great friends, good friends, right? Yeah. But I know it's a traditional other. It's proved to be very useful. The suggestions. But if I've tried to do the other people's way, I'm not doing this at all.
That's good. Good for you. Good for you
But I could fail. It could fail. If you fail, I want to fail in my own way. I don't want to fail other people's way. That's my always. If you fail, don't copy other people's the same way of failing. That's kind of make it a double negative.
Yeah.
Double failure for me. It's you fail and then you fail the other people's way, the same way of other people fail. So it's kind of double failure.
You want to do it your way.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't feel as bad. If you do fail, you won't feel as bad.
Exactly. So you fail once, you don't fail twice.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Double your failure.
Double failure.
Double your offer.
Yeah,
it's like the TV shopping. if you call now,
Yeah.
I give you double your offer.
Yeah, those are.
Yeah, or even triple. Free shipping, you only pay the handling fee.
Yeah.
And they give you this on
Those
top
are
of that.
Yeah, those are fine. I don't see them anymore.
No, it's dead. It's dead.
Yeah.
I guess the whole
There
business model.
is still one channel just for that.
Because
There's
right
still
now
one
the
channel.
social media, the advertised business is totally changed. Like you pay on the Google, you pay on the YouTube.
Yeah.
You don't pay.
I think there is one shopping channel still. If you have cable, no one has cable
Yeah,
anymore.
exactly. And even the satellite TV, that's done. It's all finished.
we're really moving, like changing very fast.
The technology just killed all the businesses.
Yeah,
it's done. Like the satellite TV. When I came here 16, 17 years, people even hacking they have little card putting in the receiver, satellite receiver. So you set up your own dish pointing to which satellite. You get all the free channels, all unlocked.
Oh wow!
All the movie channels, all of them, the DishNet and all the Bell, and all the satellite. And nobody even trying to hack those things.
Yeah. I think if you tell that to young people today, people who are in school, that's it's like an ancient thing. Now we're talking about YouTube TV.
Yeah, YouTube, TikTok, everything.
All this stuff. It's very it's unbelievable. Yeah. Something else I want to share is that sometimes I've been somewhat lucky to go to different countries, and even like in weird small countries, not many people go to, they've always found Chinese restaurants.
Yes.
Yeah, and like Chinese immigrants, who somehow
It's amazing. What do you think of that phenomenon? It's we work hard. We kind of I guess a lot of. I still don't understand today why do a lot of Chinese people, they want to move out. Mm-hmm. They want to live in some country even not that appealing. You know, all the economic opportunities or the education system. Like a lot of them, they want better education for their kids, right? A lot of them, like all my friends, like why do you want to immigrate? Immigrate is when you do the immigration thing, it's a huge thing, life-changing thing. And you don't speak English very well, you don't speak French very well.
Or the local language.
Yeah, language. But when you make that move to another country, live there, first you have job security, job thing, and the kids' education, everything. The reason they're saying like huge risk they take is for the education of the kid.
For the kid,
for the kid.
I heard that a lot from my mom.
Exactly.
Over and over.
But if you move to Australia, Canada, United States, UK, I understand. But even some tiny some countries, they even don't speak English. But what is the point of people moving everywhere?
I know. But for me, that's not when I experienced that and I realized the fact. There's restaurants, Chinese restaurants everywhere. That's not what I thought. That's what I thought. For me, it was like, oh, there's Chinese everywhere around the world. There's really is Chinese everywhere, Chinese people everywhere.
Why do they go to some smaller, or the country is not doing very well economically, or the social system is not that
stable,
not that developed or whatever. But like the reason I don't seriously, I don't really don't understand.
I never got the opportunity to ask, but a lot of them they're not new immigrants. They seem to maybe have been maybe a generation ago. So I don't know what happened. For example, there's like a million immigrants who live in Peru. And Chinese million, in Peru.
Peru, even how much population?
I don't know. A very small country, and then landlocked. There's not even like water or something, And
it's a tough country, I guess. It's the natural resources not done.
I'm not sure. There's a lot.
I have very good friends. They come from Peru.
Oh yeah.
My first job here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Very good friend. Yeah. Still today, we never spoke last year, but we still think we're good friend.
Okay. So I found out recently that that Peru, one of the famous cuisines, is Chinese cuisine because there's so many.
Even Jamaica, or I guess Jamaica, they have reggae, that kind of music genre.
Yeah.
It's like a jazz genre, like
reggaeton. Yeah.
Yeah, it's from Chinese.
Really?
Yeah. Actually. One of the previous guests, he was from Jamaica. He explained everything.
Oh, really?
Podcast. Yeah. If you Google it, it's the origin of that genre, music
Okay.
genre.
Yeah.
It's a miss. What is it's a label company. It's a Chinese lady, probably born outside of China. She is the biggest label company, record company in Jamaica. She promoted the reggae music genre.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm learning something new today.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
remember that one.
Yeah,
I'll
You
read
Google
up,
it,
I'll
you
read
will-
up more about it afterwards.
It's amazing.
Wow.
It's not mainstream. It's like you see blue, you see jazz, but reggae. I just heard of it recently, like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But
Reggaeton.
Yeah, reggaeton.
Yeah.
She's the lady called Miss. What is that? Yeah, you will see my if you look at my channel,
Okay.
one of the 39 or 40 episode or 38.
Okay.
Yeah, I have description of that link to that lady's interview. The Miss something.
Oh, I'm gonna check
She's
it out.
old. She's in her 60s. She's really respected in the music business.
She's in Jamaica. She's from Jamaica.
She's in New York right now. She
Okay.
was growing up there,
Okay.
probably born in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Then she moved the whole kind of expand the business, moved to New York.
Okay.
And she moved to New York in 1970s.
Okay.
She's really respected. Like you can see a lot of interviews. Like her is a lady, like old lady, but like it's a big boss in that business.
Got it.
Yeah, she
Got it.
founded the whole family.
I will.
Yeah.
I will definitely search up the connection
Yeah,
between
yeah.
Chinese music and reggaeton.
Yeah.
And I'll tell my friends too.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
tell my friends.
It's amazing. So it's moving everywhere.
Okay. Because like some people like the expression. Some people like say, oh did you know Chinese? Oh, this was invented by China. This was Chinese invented.
I'm pretty sure the pasta is connected to Chinese noodles. The Italians.
Yeah. Maybe Italians don't like to hear that.
I guess they admit that too.
Do they?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they acknowledge that as well. A lot of some. It's I guess it's common because the whole pasta thing, spaghetti thing, was way like after like recent centuries.
Mm.
So it's not like original there. So
Yeah. Yeah.
especially the Marco Polo thing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
pretty sure of that.
Oh, I think I'm okay. Okay.
But the lot of Chinese restaurants there, like all over the world, like we call them like North American Chinese food or something.
Yeah.
So you see Chinatown chicken, and you see all those noodles,
Oh, I mean,
chop suey. But what do you think of them? Like,
Well,
have you tried?
Yeah, I've tried. Of course, it's not.
Oh yeah,
I also understand it's out of necessity. It's necessary to change. It can't be authentic when you're in a new.
Yeah, for
country.
sure.
Yeah.
As long as surviving the business
Yeah.
is the best.
Yeah.
You cannot. Even for us, if we try to sell the traditional dishes like
Yeah, it's
mapo
not gonna
tofu.
work.
Yeah, it's not gonna work
It's not
like in
gonna
a
work.
remote town. Like the residents there now are familiar with your stuff.
Yeah.
It's too foreign.
Too
them.
foreign. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not going to sell.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, it's
If they survive the business, they make money for their kids or for the family.
Yeah.
That's the way you go.
Yeah, exactly. So I've heard from a lot of Chinese dads. They go to Chinese restaurants with them. It's not authentic. I can't eat this.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I understand. Look,
Yeah,
they're trying
exactly.
to. You have to understand the business
exactly.
side too.
The business is only for profit. If you don't have profit, you cannot make a living. So what is it for?
Yeah.
It's
But it was strange when I went to some like Spanish-speaking small countries.
Yeah.
Literally, got a little town, middle of nowhere, and they're it's Chinese restaurant, but they they have like local stuff in there. It's like it's completely you can't recognize it anymore.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
It's interesting. Yeah.
But like for the you almost second generation Chinese, you just don't care about it traditional or not. Probably a lot of them even Montreal kids growing up Chinese when they're 20, they like genital chicken. It's really great. I even have a genital chicken. It's amazing. But we never had it in China. But it's amazing. So the belief I have, if it's popular, has to be reasons, right?
Yeah.
So it's amazing. That's
Absolutely.
nice. So,
absolutely. Yeah. If it's popular, it's because people
like
order it.
Yeah.
People order it.
Yeah. It's very so. You never pass judgment saying like it's authentic or not. I think as long as it works, it's not
exactly.
Yeah, but
exactly.
But as an individual, like individual business owner, you always want to appeal to some customer you in your mind. You want to sell your idea, your products to then it's your individual decision to more traditional dishes or more like North American Chinese food.
Right.
It's your individual decision,
Right.
Sometimes you try, you fail. Sometimes you find a niche, you succeed.
Right.
That's your own thing. But overall, we just don't judge like what do you choose, right?
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
they exist there, they support their families. It's amazing.
Right.
They're working hard.
Right.
You always like admire people working hard.
So for your menu at the restaurant, how did you choose between whether to do really authentic or a little bit more North American stuff?
That's always like my observation. You always try and feel a little bit and then try tweak a little bit, but also I'm a little bit stubborn as well.
Okay.
So sometimes you can tell if you put some item on the menu, you'll make more business. But since I'm very stubborn, I choose not. A lot of times I do the business decisions on this against opinions of my wife and the kitchen staff, the cooks. But I have my own ideas. I just like a little bit. I'm really flexible, but sometimes I'm stubborn as well. It's contradicting. I always say my idea is compromise and contradicting myself. I don't feel ashamed of me changing ideas from yesterday to today. I'm very flexible. But some stuff out of nowhere, I'm just stubborn. But it's contradicting. That's how I say adapting. All the ideas I say, today I have my opinion on this thing, but next day I could be very not 180 degree, but maybe 90 degree different. It's
so that in your menu then, are you more on the food? Is it more authentic or?
Very traditional. Majority of them, 80%. That's why I want to kind of stick to my idea to have as traditional as possible. So, but as a business want to survive, so I have to put some 2 or 3 items, genital chicken over there. But we get rid of the orange beef. So we kind of compromise. But I try to get the idea to try to survive, make the business survive. At the same time, try to get my idea there.
Have your ideals.
So try to. It's always
you stand for something.
It's but then if one day if it's too hard, for me it's not too difficult to switch a little bit. Kind of move a little bit needle to more like North American. If I feel like this road is totally not feasible, it's something you can see it's kind of head to a cliff. But most of the time it's as long as you work hard, you are not too down, and then it should be okay. The market are gonna reflect. It's like you always can find some niche market. It's you don't have to compromise that crazy. You don't. So far haven't happened yet. So 9 years. So we always even the menu we've been having the almost same menu for 9 years. So that's
remarkable.
We remove some, we add a little bit. Just majority of them still the same. Majority of them. So we have the same website templates. The website, even the comments on every item, still 9 years ago.
I saw that. But you have edits. Edit.
We
I like that.
Even last year, 2021. After the publicity, I recorded video to explain everything.
I saw it on the website. Edits. New edits for.
I have like on which day I try to stick to the truth, to the most accurate information. I even put a date on April 20th, 2021. I record this video.
Exactly. It's very unique. I have never seen that any other.
Even I'm an engineer. Even I put the video name is with the date, exact date underneath. It's the. But then I found my original intent was to have a folder to keep all the videos with the exactly same format with episode this and then at the end with the date being recorded.
Okay.
Then I found out too much for the hard drive, so I removed all of them.
Okay.
I removed,
Okay.
delete all of them to free up the space on the computer.
Okay.
So then like I just saying like recorded on which day.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But
okay.
I say like
Yeah.
even the video was uploaded maybe 2 days after, but I put it on the description at last line will be recorded on this day.
Yeah.
So stick to the truth.
So a very unique touch is only it's only unique to the restaurant. You know, no other place I've ever seen.
But it's engineer. Even all the documents when I doing the IT job, like all the documents you have to put a date, the file name.
Right.
The file name is underscore. For engineers, programmers,
Okay.
never use dash,
Gotcha.
hyphen, dash.
Okay.
Always underscore. That's kind of a code.
Yeah, computer
yeah,
language.
There's a name for that kind of stuff. You always name with the profile, the file name has several words. The first letter always capital.
Okay.
So first letter of each word is capital
Okay.
and separate by underscore.
Okay.
So first capital word underscore word underscore.
Okay.
You know, we don't use dash. That's kind of wrong.
Right. So this is your engineering background coming into the you can see that.
Yeah. The old habit.
Oh yeah. You can't get rid of all that.
But it is like you have to have your own thing, you know. Sometimes, as I said, probably it's not working out, but it's not doing too much damage as well.
Yeah. No, I think. I mean, from the outside looking in, it looks like it's thriving very well. You know, it looks like it's doing very well, and the publicity definitely helps a lot.
Yeah. And also for this video thing, I just probably want to have more people. Like, I'm really surprised you came to me. Like, I was talking to you maybe 1 year ago. You said, it's an email. Like, want to be part of the video. That's amazing. Like, I really want to see more people. They want to have their stories, have their ideas to be recorded on video. Like several years later, it's free for the YouTube. You know, you pay nothing to YouTube to have your video voice. You know, saved there forever. It's amazing. So we need to take advantage of that.
Yeah. I mean, I was honestly, my girlfriend when she always thought
she speaks Chinese too. Or?
No, she's not Chinese. Okay. She's from France. She's French.
Okay. So help your French.
I think so, but but I haven't. I've been very guilty by not practicing. But anyway, she thought I would absolutely love this, and that she thinks I like talking about myself. So it's like, this is the perfect opportunity for you to talk about yourself.
It's amazing, actually. It's really amazing. Like when you have, like you want to have your ideas like recorded. That's really amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's like it's free. You know, it's a lot of ways to do it. It's free, easy to do it. You know, it doesn't cost anything. And
that's
one click of a button. Broadcast to the world.
Yeah. And YouTube does offer the great services to free services to everybody.
Yeah. Well, except for in China.
Hey, what do you? But like for the Chinese restaurant, like what do you like in Montreal? You probably tried a lot of them.
Yeah, I have tried.
What do you think overall? Like all the traditional ones, like we have probably 4, 5, 6 in Montreal.
Oh, I actually compared to a lot of probably Chinese, I probably haven't tried that many. Okay, but especially because.
But which ones have you tried?
Oh, which ones have I? Oh, I like. First of all, in general, I like Sichuan. Sichuan food.
Yeah, we have only probably 5, 6 of them on the island, right?
Not sure. I'm not sure how many. But some of the places I go, the restaurants in Chinatown and Chinatown too is.
Which one think you're good? Which one do you think is good to recommend? The Chinese restaurant.
Oh, Chinese restaurant. I like. Okay, well, this is very specific, but it's like xiaolongbao.
Yeah, xiaolongbao.
I like it. I like that. So I go to. There's one.
Soup dumpling, the salmon.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's a more famous one.
Yeah.
I like that one. But there's one that's less famous. I have to check. I have to see for myself. Anyway, I'm gonna have to. Yeah.
But for the Sichuan kind of spicy food, which one do you like? You can get several. Like which ones?
Yeah. That one I go to Chinatown for, and I'm really bad with the names. I just although the names
You are really not Chinese.
I'm really not Chinese.
Yeah.
I'm really not.
Yeah.
I'm really,
For Chinese people, they know exactly like
Okay.
they only remember names.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
the
really.
restaurant.
You can probably the more the conversation gets,
Yeah.
the more you can find out I'm not very Chinese at all. But I know the location.
But what's going on? Are you do you like those kind of Korean Japanese restaurants that's super popular, especially Korean restaurants here? Are you a big fan of them right now?
I like to try different things. I don't know if I because there's so much variety. I don't always go to one.
Okay.
I like to try
Especially downtown, a lot
of
of
ones. Yeah.
popular.
There are a lot of like
popular.
hot pot, right? Like
Yeah.
a lot of not hot pot.
No,
Korean barbecue.
Yeah, Korean barbecue.
Yeah.
Very, very popular.
Yeah,
super.
I've tried a
As
few.
a business owner, I always envy, always jealous
Yeah.
of their.
There's one on Crescent that opened up. It's really popular. I don't know. Like I said, there's not one restaurant I go to over and over. I just go there once, and usually that's it. Not because I don't like it, but
But
there's
are
so
you
much to try.
Do you go out a lot for the
Restaurants? Not
Yeah.
really, because I think make very good food. Like my girlfriend makes very good food.
French food, French cuisine?
Yeah, French cuisine, but also all cuisine.
Okay,
So she cooks very well.
wow, that's a
Very,
good.
very, very well.
But do you feel right now with the inflation, everything like the prospect of the overall economy? They always say it's in recession already or the beginning of recession.
Yeah.
Do you feel like average, let's say statistically,
Yeah.
people are gonna dying out like less by average? People are saying like. Yeah, before the pandemic, we probably go out for 2 person, probably $40. Now we probably spend $60
Yeah.
for one meal outside for 2
Yeah.
person
Yeah.
people. What do you feel that or like?
I have a feeling that habits are hard to change. You just change.
Or the people more cautious still, like saying they're cautious about even the virus right now. Even some people they really relax, but still some people they kind of feel like very cautious about the pandemic. Right?
Yeah. Sure, I'm sure there's
Still,
always
right?
there will be those type of people, but I don't think that's the majority. That's a very probably minority of
Okay.
people. And as far as like the dining habits,
Mhm.
I don't even though inflation has there's inflation still here, recession, people's habits don't change that
Okay.
drastically. So if they're still going twice a week before, it's still going to be the same, even though they spend more.
Okay.
That's just I think that's human nature.
But even they look at the balance, they say like how much I make now,
Yeah.
and how much I'm gonna spend here or there.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
think they're still gonna?
Yeah, because that's something dining out is important to their. It's going to spend $10 more, $15 more, but so is everything. Everything else is increasing.
Yeah.
Everything else is increasing. It's
But another thing like we have to cover, I guess, it's like 2008 or 9 you moved to Montreal. You stay here almost like
more than 10 years. Yeah,
more than 10 years, all the time, almost all the time.
almost everything except for like 2 years.
Okay, great. What do you think of Montreal then? Like the as a city?
Um,
Which city for the North Carolina, the biggest city?
I
The
live in Chapel Hill. Chapel Hill is a small
It's
college.
a
town.
it's
Small college town.
there's even a big city in North Carolina.
Oh, there is.
It's a spread out.
Yeah, it's Charlotte is the biggest city.
Oh,
It's about-
Charlotte, yeah,
it's about-
Charlotte. I heard that.
Yeah, it's the fastest growing city in North America.
But
in Charlotte.
the overall like a metropolitan, do they have 1 million people?
Yeah.
Around
Yeah.
1 million?
Yeah.
So not too shabby.
Not too
Not
shabby,
too-
but I didn't live there. I didn't live
Okay.
there. I was like 3-hour drive from there in a small college town,
Okay.
like something like Kingston, Ontario,
Okay.
which is like Queens, like university and everything. Is
But do you see Montreal here as a big city? Or
me?
population must be big.
I mean, because I lived in other big cities before. This is like a medium-sized city to me.
Okay.
As a city, I like it because the cultural aspect.
Okay.
It's a very cool cultural city. In the summers are way better than the winters, but people are. I never have to worry about coming home late at night. Safety is
Yeah, very.
people respectful. safe. Never have to worry about like violence, stuff like that.
But you intend to stay long term here? Or
Probably not, because I mentioned some of those things where I have most of my family, except for my dad, lives in the U.S.
Okay.
And so I will probably get my green card soon.
From the United States.
From my green card from my parents, from my mom.
Okay.
So, and then I have my dad's.
Yeah.
So I have to. There's going to be a decision, but I'm going to have to decide. What.
But overall, like the city, the Montreal, do you think like? But you see a lot of different cities. Like, do you think the economy side is good, or like give young people a lot of opportunities, or like?
Yeah.
It's like a slow city, right? It's not a.
Well, I have to be like an economist to have all the statistics to
But in
really answer.
general feel like you have a good job or young people.
Yeah, honestly, if you do well, you do take the traditional path. You do well in school, you do this and that. Yeah, their opportunities are there. And plus the cost of living, it's increased quite a bit recently, relatively low. Yeah. So the having a good life here, it's.
But do you see a lot of big companies? You don't see a lot of big companies comparing to Toronto.
True, of course you don't. But there is balance, right? What kind of cost of living is very good. Not a stressful. You're not going to work a lot of overtime. So I think the balance in quality of life is very good here. Okay.
But for the young people with really aspiration.
Sure. If you're trying to go for multi-millionaire, you become a multi-millionaire by 20, 25 years old, maybe this is not the best city for you to do that. But you probably still can, but just not as many.
But if you don't have a lot of big corporations, big company or the good branches here, so you don't have those kind of high-paying positions. You don't have a lot of those high-paying executives or the managers.
Yeah,
positions.
Sure. And I think
that's going to limit the kind of economy overall, right?
Well, yeah, we're only talking about that. We're talking about the upper tier, like you were talking about the.
But it's like trickle down sometimes. If you don't have a lot of top, you have certain amount, but you don't have a large amount of that trickle down effect.
Yeah.
So that's why you see the top restaurants, you don't see a lot of them in Montreal, you see a lot of them in Toronto,
right?
Because they have high-end clientele, that kind of a class of people. When you don't have those kind of top companies here, so that you very difficult to have the top everything.
Sure. Maybe a large part is probably with the the politics and the French language barrier.
But have engineers average people or something. You have focused on the balanced life and a career. That's a great choice, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And if you.
But it's not an aspiring city overall, like a big city. We have.
It depends on the personal choice, personal goals. If you want to make one person for a family, a person's income over $100,000. So yeah, I think it's very doable in here. With experience, you don't even have to be a manager or the top to do that. And with that income, you're living very comfortable.
Yeah, very good,
very comfortable. So but it comes down to a person's choices, or a person's goals.
Yeah, a lot of people some people I ask, they always like the culture, right?
Yeah,
this kind of good mix of culture and also. A lot of people from all over the world in Montreal.
True, multi, And I think sometimes other people like to say, people don't mind your business, like they don't get into, everyone has their own free will.
But what do you don't like about Montreal? Like besides the winter, whatever.
Yeah.
What do you think the Montreal as a city? Supposed to be a mega city. If you have more than 3 million people.
Yeah.
Here metropolitan area.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to have a big, a magnetic field for the talents, people. For you have your mega city with the size like Charlottetown only, you mentioned about 1 million people. We have more than 3 million people. You know, the size matters,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So like, what do you don't like with the city status? You know, it's supposed to be, you know, Montreal is supposed to be on the North America, on the overall map, it's supposed to be standing out. Right now, we're kind of not deserving that status.
Oh,
Do you
okay.
see what I mean?
Oh, I see. I never think of it globally like
No,
that.
in
I
North
don't-
America, it's
No.
like Toronto is,
Yeah.
you know, in the United States, a lot of people talk about big cities in North America. In their mind, they always think about Toronto is one of them, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Chicago, Toronto, New York, Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So nobody gonna think of Montreal. But we have a lot of people in Montreal as well.
No, like, what I'm saying is that I don't typically think in terms of like a macro scale, like, you know, as overview, because, you know, just one person, you're like, okay, we'll leave that for someone else to think about, maybe the president, prime minister, or the economist. But what is
Something,
and so for me,
something bothers you in the city, like something you don't like.
I don't like. Yeah. I mean, it probably, like, you know, for me, it's always the it's going to be the you know the French culture, and not just the French language, but the culture too.
Okay.
That I because I didn't grow up here, there's still a gap. There's still a barrier, you know, and so that's you know, unless I change and learn, and, you know, then there always will be there.
Okay.
And I will have to decide, do I want to always live with that, like that gap, that, you know, or learn or move.
You're probably gonna, I probably move.
I won't say. I won't say. Yeah. So that's that.
Yeah. Or it's like me, I always, you know, think about those things I'm not supposed to think about. You know, the big picture for me. It's always, that's why, like, that's the problem of you think a lot. You know?
Yeah.
As a struggling small restaurant owner, you're not supposed to that big picture, you know, think about. Yeah, but like, that's the thing. Like, for me, I overthink a lot, to be honest.
Sure.
Just overthinking. Like, Montreal is supposed to be big, huge deal in North America. You know?
Yeah.
In Canada, even it's supposed to be big deal. But over time, you see, I've already talked about Toronto. You know, I work in IT. A lot of people, they like, a lot of my friends, they say like they get several experience in Montreal in IT, and then they move. A lot of them move to Toronto or the United States.
Yeah.
They get a much better job.
Yeah.
You know, I have a lot of friends like that, and it's always make me think, there's a lot of attractions over there.
Yeah.
Especially on the the better positions in the professional fields.
Yeah. No, I completely see that. Completely see that.
Okay. Something else you want to talk about? Or?
Nothing comes to mind. Nothing comes to mind.
And it's like we covered a lot of when after move to Montreal. But for the childhood, did you have anything like before you moved to Montreal for the McGill University? Something in your childhood you would feel like almost second generation Chinese? Did you have anything like when you grew up, you feel you were kind of different, like was very joyful?
I mean, a lot of that. Yes. The answer is yes. It's just that now I've sort of gone over it. You know, I've gone maybe with age, with time. You know, you sort of just. But when I remember, when I was, growing up as a immigrant.
That time already a lot of Chinese kids already, right? But when you're not, you're relatively young, so that time like a lot of Chinese moved out already, right? So you probably not the only kid in the
it depends. It depends on which which city and neighborhood environment I was in. But for the large part, my family always moved to where Chinese communities. Okay.
But the Boston, at least like 20 years ago or 25 years ago, a lot of you probably were not the only Chinese kid.
No, not at all. Right? But still, but I wasn't the. I think we only we're still a minority.
Yeah.
So you sometimes you feel like you're as a kid you felt like you're an outsider. Or, you don't. I was just learning English at the time. I didn't know English, and then you feel like you want to belong, or you want to
But
be like everyone else. You don't
So
want to
when
be different.
you were kind of a very conscious of that when like 12,
Oh
13
no, because I think I moved to the first time I moved to the U.S. or to English speaking country I was like 6. I didn't speak English at the time, so I was learning English for many years.
But that age was, I guess that age was not bad, right? Because kids just 6, 7, 8. As long as you play with them, share toys, should not be that bad. There's such age no bully yet, right?
Yes or no. I mean, I didn't speak English, so that's already an easy target.
Seriously, 6, 7.
I don't know, but sorry, first grade. First grade, 7, 8. Yeah. But for me, I didn't experience a lot of the a lot of bullying because I did a lot of I did a lot of activities that were without language. You can communicate, like play different sports.
But
so
what was
easy? That was easy to integrate.
But did you feel like when you grew a little bit older, like 10, 11, 12 years old, you more conscious about maybe you kind of not having so many friends, or they were like, I guess they have groups like that time, right?
Yeah, actually, for me, it wasn't the problem. It wasn't with friends. I had friends. That was not a problem. But the problem was just like, what my parents taught me at home. Very different than what it was like at school. They were like, for example, going home. My parents are very traditional parents. Very strict, very do things this way. And then in your school, and you see everyone else. Oh, they're very different. So how can you go? It was very hard for me sometimes. You're like, oh, that's not how everyone else does it. That's not how my friends do it, or that's not how my
But when they're very traditional, they are very disciplined you. Or seriously, you have to obey. You have to listen. That kind of
like doing homework. You're doing a lot of homework, extra,
But do you feel actually one question I really want to know the answer is like growing up in that environment. Do you feel like the parents too strict on you comparing to other like the local kids? Their parents, you think their parents live in more like open, like really?
Absolutely.
But do you feel that's a good or bad, or like as a kid, you always don't like that, right? I guess.
1 second, can I use that?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. You can leave it here. So
okay.
I get some hot water for this.
Sorry, pause. Where is it downstairs?
Yeah, it's over there. We get more, a little bit more tea.
Okay.
Yeah, you can always put there. So that's the thing. Always like because my daughter is 10. Like I myself, I really open-minded. I don't want to be strict because I think I don't have the experience supposed to pass to her, to the kid, because the idea, I was really disciplined, really strict to my parents. But like if you are me as a parent now, if I'm very strict to the kid, my daughter, she's growing up here, so that could be really gonna do something opposite to what I want. It's even my life experience does not apply here, or does not apply to her. So that's why, like, very, even me, I don't have a lot of time to spend with her. Sometimes I tell myself that could be a good thing, because my influence may not be that good, to be honest. It's give her more freedom. Or my wife is very strict to my standard. No, probably she's relaxing as well, but to my standard, it's so. But growing up, like, you see your parents very strict. So what did you think of, like you feel like, oh, my parents kind of a little bit too strict?
Yeah. No, they were. No, it caused a lot of problems. Yeah. So they pretty much, like, sometimes I can't really fault them, because they were kind of educating us. I also had an older sister.
Interest,
Yes, with their best interest, but also based on how they were brought up.
Yeah.
They weren't like open-minded like you, like, oh, we're in a different, different setting.
But you had a lot of fights with arguments.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Let's give them more anger, I guess. They're gonna see
a lot of arguments, back and forth.
That would be really bad when you are 12, 13, 14 years old.
Yeah. I mean, so in contrast, I have an older sister. My older sister was very obedient. Okay,
that's always a good thing for parents.
Obedient. But then they looked at me. They're like, oh, we have this son who's
so she's 4 years older than you.
4 years old. Yeah, 4 years older. Yeah, she lives in Silicon Valley, in San Francisco Bay Area.
But does that do, if you have a lot of arguments with your parents, does that do a little bit bad to you, your kind of
my
mindset?
My mindset? Oh, for sure. I was very, sometimes, probably when I was in my teenage years, I was probably very angry, like, especially when I was also very conscientious. Like, I know, like, oh, my friends are people who I go to school with. Yeah. Oh, they have it so relaxed. They don't have to do this, or they don't have to do this extra step. So I kind of, for many years, I resented.
Okay.
Yeah,
but does that affect yours? Does some detrimental to your self-confidence?
My self-confidence. In my case, let me think.
You were not like outgoing, like crazy. Well, I'm right. You guys, you just feel boys. You listen to me. That kind. I find me, a traditionally brought up, I find that's really good asset for me. I admire people really with self-confidence, saying like, even I'm wrong, but I want to do my way.
Yeah.
That kind of.
Actually, luckily for me, my self-confidence was actually a very strong, high self-confidence through actually just because I was well liked by my friends and my teachers, but also I was good in athletics.
Yeah. Okay.
So that gave me a lot of self-confidence.
Okay. But your parents always criticizing you, right? Criticizing you.
Oh, yeah.
You're saying you're not doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong.
Absolutely.
You're not good at comparing you to the other kids.
Yeah. All the traditional, comparison. They're very, very.
And your piano is doing bad. Wasting our money, waste our money on your piano lessons.
Yeah, I've heard that many times. Yeah, yeah. So my parents are very traditional, and like they all compare, just like a lot of.
That's the biggest thing I think is compare. Always compare with other kids.
Yeah. Or in my case, compared to my sister.
Yeah. Tough.
And my sister was a very, very, very good student too. Like very, very, she went to the top university in the U.S.
But you're lucky though, because you said you're good at a lot of other things to offset that kind
Yes.
of.
Yes. But at the same time, it angered me more because I was like, okay, I'm well liked in school. I'm well liked by teachers. I'm good at, how could, why?
Yeah.
are you still?
But yeah, it's
that angered me
yeah.
more.
Even my friends here in Montreal, like Chinese friends, the way I see, sometimes I think they have set too high expectation for their kids. Sometimes it's even not fair. Like you did not achieve that.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you even expect your kids to be better than what you have done?
Mm-hmm.
Or like we made all the mistakes.
Right.
We did not do very well a lot of times, and we expect the kid to be
Yeah.
perfect at every aspect of like to your liking. It's not even fair.
Yeah.
I think that sometimes it's not even you are not mature yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Even I'm 43. I said I'm still searching for the directions. I'm not even mature.
Yeah.
Like if you teach or pass that too much, you can tell a little bit your own story or experience.
Yeah.
But if you force that to a child or something, you are not mature even yourself, and then you get wrong ideas about even the world or the society. A lot of the time, like we're narrow-minded. Sometimes,
Yeah.
if you force them, you pass that kind of narrow kind of ideas about the society things to your child, who's more exposed than you, right?
Yeah.
It's exposed to some of them not too good, but like that's like not even good to the development of to a child.
Yeah, this is really refreshing for me to hear because, growing up, a lot of my, my family friends all thought the same. They all thought the same.
Yeah.
So to hear hear this from someone, it's like, wow, okay, there can be
even today, like majority of them, they still. That's why I'm different. So,
I'm like, wow, I've never heard this in my own experience.
Even today, a lot of my generations, like in the 40s, my friends, like, they have, you have to avoid the kid to make this mistake or that mistake. Looks like you never made mistakes when you were a child.
Yeah.
It's crazy, the expectation. That shows like you are not mature. Like the way you're thinking, it's not mature. It's not reality.
Yeah.
It's not realistic to. That's crazy. But at the same time, like you always worry when you are too relaxing to educate your kid or watch them. Then you always regret one day. Oh, if we made mistake, if she grew up or the child grew up rebellious now, made a lot of big mistakes. You always like when you kind of paranoid.
Very paranoid, yeah.
To say like, oh, if you don't correct the small mistakes, they're gonna end up making huge mistakes in their life. But you are not there to guide them, to protect them all the time.
Yeah.
They have to grow by themselves to make some mistakes. You probably have made a lot more, not worse, a lot more.
But they don't want to hear that. Though.
Yeah.
No, they don't want to hear that.
And also, if you display them too much, you force your ideas to the child too much, it end up like when they are 10, 12, 13, they're going to rebel even more. Yeah. I heard some stories, not real person, but the friends, even the kids, they report parents on purpose to the police to get those custody taken away, to get them, even left of the family.
Yeah.
That kind of extreme.
Yeah.
And, that's the maturity of the parents. I guess, like as an adult, you've been living 40, 50 years old, you always narrow mind to think my way is the best way.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff is crazy. And
it's definitely.
I see a lot of people, they really kind of extreme their views on overall life experience or the purpose of life or even a lot of things. They're crazy themselves. Like, as a kid, you don't have a lot of life experience. You are open book, blank page. But parents, some of them, they have a lot of pages, their book filled with crazy ideas, Your book is crap. Your book is like totally like supposed to be burned.
Yeah.
It's like, and then you force that book, you tell your child your book is the best book ever, and then ask them to read your crap.
Yeah.
To follow your footsteps. That's really crazy.
Right. And some, the other thing is that, when you go to a different environment, different culture, people have to change.
Okay.
Just like the food and restaurants have to change
Adapt,
and adapt.
But actually, another theory I have, like I guess the second generation or the 1.75 generation like you, like it would be great for you to see both sides. So it's self-correct. You always find, you have the experience to have the chance to see different sides that end up helping you long term.
Sure.
Yeah. A lot of the kids from immigrants, doesn't matter it's from China or the Brazil or some European countries.
Yeah.
Those generation, the second generation, they always do really well.
Yeah.
They do better than the native, like the people that were born, the kids born there, because they have the chance to see different aspects of different societies or
Sure.
It's a very, very beneficial for people to move between different cultures. So you have the chance to be open-minded.
Yeah.
Some people, they grew up like in Canada or United States. They all think they are okay. We kind of being here like this. Their kids growing up all the time here, so they even don't know what happened in China, what happened in Europe, what happened in Africa.
Yeah.
So they always thought they're righteous. They are always that we're correct. Our way is the best way.
Yeah.
And that's the benefit of immigration. I guess the more people mix the ideas, the way of thinking will help them to adjust, because you always adjust when you are 30s, when you are in 40s, when you are 10, 12 years old, 20 years, you always adjust.
Yeah.
You kind of fine tuning all the time. But if you have inputs from all directions, probably gonna help you more to adjust, to fine tune your attitude, your approach.
It should. It doesn't always happen that way.
The way you are today probably beneficial from your parents, little bit too strict discipline.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, yes. Yes. Yeah. I'm sure, because there's a phrase called tiger mom.
Tiger mom, and then the wolf dad, or is that
something like that? Now I didn't.
Oh, wolf dad.
Wolf dad? Okay, I didn't.
狼爸. Yeah.
That's newer after that.
Yeah.
So tiger mom. This is the law, Chinese American law professor. I don't know if you know the whole story. She's a second generation, immigrant.
Okay.
Marries to an American guy, has 2 daughters, and she disciplines them like very strict, like they play piano, all this kind of stuff, and they're very successful.
Yeah.
So she goes out and says, "Oh, this is the best way of parenting. Well, my Chinese culture, this is the way. If you want to bring your kids up well, you have to okay." So this created a lot of controversy, and a lot of Americans parents like, no, this is not. No, we don't want it this way.
Even the Jeremy Lin, his mom is tiger mom too. You know the basketball player?
Yeah, of course. I know Jeremy Lin very well.
So it's the
Do you know I know about Jeremy Lin before the NBA? I followed him when he was at Harvard.
Seriously?
Yeah. So I
did you have?
I was
did
very.
You have photo together? That would be a.
Not a photo, but I
just
was.
You can show off on the social media.
But I will say So I knew about him in Harvard when he was playing at university in Harvard. I'm a very big sports fan. Okay, this goes to show you. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I also went to the game against Lakers.
Okay.
Kobe.
Oh, that's the famous 38 points or 39.
I traveled from that time.
Is that travel against that move? Travel against Derek Fisher?
Yeah, that one.
That's a travel. Do you think it's a travel violation?
It was too good to be a travel, so no.
I think that's one step more.
One step more, but
that's like LeBron James, always one step more.
One step more.
They said LeBron James always travel.
Yeah, sure, but
and another Euro steps.
Yeah.
Euro step is always like a travel. You kind of move one step left and then right.
Yeah.
You don't count to 3.
Well, the league is just for like off to make buckets, to just. But I was there.
I was a big fan. I watch NBA all the time.
I was there at the game. I went to that game.
Yes, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Kobe said, "Who's Jeremy Lin?" Right before the game.
Yeah.
Who's that kid?
Yeah. I remember that very well because I did at the time I was in university here, and I didn't have much money.
How much was the ticket? $200.
It was, I didn't have tickets.
Yeah.
I didn't have tickets, but I left. It was a Friday night.
Okay.
I left Thursday or Friday morning. I didn't have. I went took a Greyhound bus.
Okay. Oh yeah, that time you were in Montreal.
That was
right?
Montreal,
yeah.
And then I went there, and without a ticket, I had to find a ticket from somebody else.
Scalpers.
Yeah. So I paid a lot. I paid $200
Jeez.
that time.
US dollars.
I think it was Canadian, but
But
still, it was a lot for me.
A lot.
It was a lot.
The seat was good or the far
Very
away?
back.
Very back.
Very bad, yeah. But it was worth it.
That was a crazy time.
Yeah.
It was like it's like the 7-game stretch was crazy. But I told all my friends there. I guess the New York Knicks made the owner, the Dillon or something. Dillon, right?
Yeah.
That guy is not a smart owner.
Yeah, the guy's a dumb
Yeah,
guy. I don't think he's there anymore.
Yeah, because Jeremy is Anthony. What is Anthony? The Melo Anthony, right?
Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, Camilo Anthony. He was definitely not a good team player. He's detrimental to the whole team.
His ego was hurt.
Yeah, exactly. So when you have a cash machine, have a money machine like Jeremy Lin at that time, and you are not sure about his long term, like overall will bring the team to the next level, but you're gonna bet on the money machine.
Yeah.
You can never make that mistake to keep Stoudemire and then the Carmelo Anthony to the team instead of, you give it a try because it failed before Jeremy Lin stepped up on the 7 games. It proved like this guy and the duo cannot lead the team to another level. It failed already, so why don't you give it a try? And also at the same time, you make tons of money.
Yeah,
that was the dumbest move ever. And it's they always said like Jeremy Lin, his style of playing is you don't see it like very very like Steph Curry. After that would be another level, but at the same time, you can see this guy is a general on the floor, so he can make teammates better.
Yeah.
But over the playoffs time, on the crunch time, he may be stoppable. He may be controlled.
Mm-hmm.
But at least you can give it a try. He's he was
whatever.
It was humiliating for him. Like after that, it's a Miami game. He was totally controlled by. The Miami game was big disappointment for him because what is the point guard was really tough on him. The point guard.
Oh my goodness! I have his face. I forgot his name. Yeah, I remember that. I watched that game.
That game is
they put
very
2
bad.
or 3 guys double teamed him. He has to pass it up. He did very bad on the road.
Yeah, but I guess he's still top tier that time. The point guard maybe he's right after Chris Paul. Chris Paul always the best point guard at that time. So, but he's top tier as well. So if you give him the role to lead the team, he already proved like 7 games good enough, and then on the side make money, and you just have the chance to get rid of the ball hogger. Really?
He thought he was
get rid of Anthony. Yeah, you give rid of Anthony the best chance that time. You see, the fans, decided, the best chance to get rid of Anthony, right? And Stoudemire is not bad. Stoudemire is just a guy dunk the ball. That's all. He's not ball control freak like Anthony.
Yeah.
So it's the best chance. That's why I think when the Houston trade was happening, actually that time I was in Europe.
Okay.
I was in the trip to Paris that time. I remember. I saw the news on the internet. That's really dumb for Knicks. They were worst team ever. Like decades of being worst team. Like when you have the one-time chance, you have a guy can bring you money, can bring attention. You don't pass that along. Even maybe at the end, Jeremy Lin cannot bring you championship, but can pass to the second round of playoffs, right?
Yeah. And he was filling up the seats too.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people were buying.
It's amazing.
Yeah. But I think of that time. That trip was really a movie moment. It was a movie, and like there are movies now made about that.
Yeah.
So it was one of my best memories ever.
That game would be like I watched all the games, like the 7 games, like that stretch. I guess it was amazing. It's also Toronto with the Valentine's Day. The last shot was crazy. So it's
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Okay, a few things about Jeremy, and we can move on to something else. So this is what, like I said, to show you how big of a fan I was before, him in the NBA. When he was playing at Harvard, I would go online and try to find some streams, of like video streams. And not at the time, not a lot of websites were streaming college, university games.
they're not good either.
They were not good, but
Yeah.
it was not very few. So I would still
Ivy
go find.
League basketball.
They weren't good. Yeah, it wasn't good. So I had to find like those like very weird websites where they had a video stream. So, okay. The other point is that this past Christmas, I went to visit my sister in San Francisco, and Jeremy Lin's from San Francisco, or
Palo Alto.
Yeah.
He's from
Palo Alto, right? So, and then we went around just looking around, and it was a sign. Oh, Jeremy Lin used to play basketball here. And, I took a picture.
Stanford.
Yeah, near.
Oh no,
not
near Stanford. Yeah.
Yeah, near Stanford.
Yeah,
Right
Stanford
next.
did not pick him.
Yeah, right next to Stanford. That was a cool moment. And also lastly, during that 7-game run, I think it was the game against Washington.
That's the first of the. I guess that's the first game.
I don't.
Oh
remember
no, second. The
Second.
first was Darren Williams. The first game was against Nets.
Okay.
Against Nets, Darren Williams was kind of leading the team of Nets.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah,
the
good memory.
first game
Very good memory. Very good.
Yeah,
memory.
he got 25 or 27 points against Darren Williams.
Okay.
Darren Williams
I
was
don't
pretty
remember,
good
but
that time.
very good memory. I just remember watching him, and I was like very excited. I was like, wow, this is like actually happening. I cured my cold at the time.
Especially normally most of the time they have stereotype of Asian kids.
Yeah.
Asian young people don't have enough self-confidence, right? You see the swag from him of the way he attack the paint.
Yeah.
It's opposite to the stereotype.
Yeah.
It's aggressive. You don't see it's almost like the Asians. They almost like modest, they keep to themselves, not that kind of swag, that kind of aggressiveness. It's aggressiveness.
Alpha.
It's the way he attacking the paint is really amazing. So he's super quick, and he's kind of smashed down by the centers, like the big guys.
Yeah.
It's fearless.
Yeah, at the time I really felt.
You don't see many Asian people that aggressive, like
definitely.
the style of playing.
Yeah, at the time I really during the Linsanity years, or Linsanity time. Yeah, I really felt proud to be to be Asian American, Asian Canadian.
You have to be super confident, But to be honest, as a basketball fan, I don't think his style of playing can last long because you get injuries so easily because you run into the lane, and then they cannot stop you. They're gonna smash you. Over time you can have your problem with your knee. Yeah, here there.
Yeah.
Especially you're athletic. You relying on the quick moves, like quick turns, and you always have issues. Like 1 year or 2 years, you get a burn. You're always like that.
But you didn't have a very reliable 3-point shot. His jump shot was.
That's the best about Steph Curry. Stephen Curry is the best. If he does not shoot the three-point ball that well, he's done too. Because as a point guard, if you don't shoot well, they just smash you down. They guard you. If you have that long range thing, they cannot defend you at all because you cannot kind of to defend you too closely. Otherwise, either they pass you or I stay away from the 3-point and then I shoot the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So Steph Curry is no answer to him because he got that long range thing.
Yeah, he's just changed the game completely.
Even Chris Paul is pretty good because the 2-point shots pretty stable. So that's why his best handler, I guess, still Chris Paul is so far still the best point guard in my view. Yeah. Chris Paul it's pretty.
I think he's got the best during his prime. Now he's like this year.
He's 38.
No, he's really his age is showing.
It's no.
But his mid-range shot is really the best.
Yeah, even the last 2 years, he brought the Phoenix Suns to the level, to the finals. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That shows how important the point guard is on the floor.
For sure. Definitely.
He's probably the best. He's really cool. He's handling the ball. If Jeremy Lin can be that cool, you have to have the shooting. If you don't have the shooting, they don't respect you as a point guard. They just smash you, right? Yeah. They just foul you. They smash you. Try the best. So you don't have another. If you give them 2 options to defend you, it's much harder for the.
I see you're a big basketball fan.
Yeah,
You're a big
I
basketball
used to watch a lot of.
Okay.
Also on the side, I learn English as well. So
okay.
I always have the internet league pass.
League pass, yeah.
Yeah, league pass. I bought that every year. So I put my earphone on. I hear the commentating. I'm a big fan of what is Jeff.
One of the commentators.
Yeah, the ESPN, the brothers of Van Gundy.
Van Gundy.
Yeah,
Jeff.
I'm big. He's the best commentator ever in my opinion. He's amazing. The voice looks like so professional.
Okay.
And you cannot imagine he was a basketball coach.
Is he Jeff Van Gundy? Is he the guy with the ball?
Yeah, ball.
Ball. Okay.
Yeah. But his brother totally does not like him at all.
Looks like, much bigger,
and also has lost his temper with Howard.
Yes.
Howard was best center at that time, and then the was always yelling the big Van Gundy. Yeah. The coach was Magic, the Orlando Magic.
Yeah.
Was best, but very bad at coaching. I guess he's lost his temper all the time. But his Jeff Van Gundy was amazing. A lot better than his coaching. He was coaching Houston Rockets, right? He was head coach, Houston Rockets. Okay. He was his mindset is defending. So his game was super boring. Van Gundy's game, super boring. He coached Yao Ming, I guess, one time, 1 or 2 years.
Okay, I didn't follow.
Yeah. So the Van Gundy, the coaching was really boring. But I guess he never played. It's very few of the coaches never played professional basketball. He never played.
I don't think so.
But he got the philosophy of basketball. He was very technical to do the defending. His defense was really good, but it's super boring.
Super boring watching. Yeah.
But this
was with T-Mac and
T-Mac and Yao Ming. Okay. But his commentating was amazing, especially his voice plus the knowledge of the coaching like basketball. It's amazing.
Okay.
So that time was big fan of. So I listened to that commentating to improve my English.
I see. Interesting. Now I find, in all honesty, I find the commentating repetitive. Repeating the same thing.
Yeah.
So
you haven't watched the NBA broadcast in Chinese language. The commentators
hilarious.
No, the commentators they don't have knowledge about that much knowledge about basketball.
Okay.
I cannot stand at all.
Okay.
Like I never watched them in Chinese. It's just I guess one time or two in the Chinese New Year, I traveled to China to my hometown. On the TV, they broadcasting NBA games.
Okay.
The commentators, even my English is not good. The Chinese language to me very natural.
Yeah.
So I cannot stand that. I cannot stand. They just talk about those trivial things here or there. It's nothing about basketball.
That adds nothing to the game.
Yeah, exactly. So it's all emotions. It's all this kind of his own opinion, emotions. Nothing to the game, like some players.
Like as if they don't know anything about basketball.
Exactly. So the Jeff Van Gundy or other TNT or the ESPN, they tell you, okay, the screen, how do they set up screen or this, like
what's the play? Give you some background.
Yeah, it's amazing. You get a lot of knowledge about that.
Well, especially if they come from a coaching background.
A lot of them are amazing. Even Shaq O'Neal was a big thing on the TNT commentator.
Yeah, he's very funny. I watched him. Yeah, he's hilarious with Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley and another guy. This is another player. That's why most of the commentators they're the professional NBA players before. So you have to establish your names. To get the respect.
Yes, absolutely. Give you some context where I lived in North Carolina. That's where Michael Jordan went to university.
Yeah, I know that he made his name.
Yeah, all the NBA players, go to college there. So.
If the Michael Jordan, there's recently, there's a comedian. It's very kind of top comedian right now. It's called
Chappelle.
Andrew Schultz.
Okay.
Chappelle is old generation. He's still the top. He's one of the GOATs right now.
Okay.
But he's been established for 20 years, probably 20, 30 years, Dave Chappelle. But this Andrew Schultz, this guy is been probably only 5-10 years. He's top right now, Andrew Schultz.
Never heard of him.
And then there's a special on the YouTube right now, only released 3 months ago. You can Google it on the YouTube, search it. has already 11, 12 million views already. That's like 1 hour special. And in the special, he was joking about Michael Jordan. It's amazing, that one. You have to
Okay.
But it's dirty.
Dirty. Okay.
Yeah, it's dirty, but it's amazing the way he was putting that Michael Jordan thing in his special is crazy.
I'll have to look for. I'll write that down. Andrew Schultz.
Yeah, Andrew Schultz.
Okay, cool.
It's crazy. The basketball is almost that's why I like learning English. I want to understand firsthand, like from Jeff Van Gundy, all those kind of commentators on the game myself. I need to see how do they explain the games. How do they, I can get a lot of knowledge about that.
Okay.
It's one of the things you have to have interest for me is to see, like, I want to understand how do they do that? How do all these players? If I did not open the restaurant, I will have much more knowledge about NBA than now. I haven't watched for 4 years. I still have the pass every year. By the pass, it's auto renewal. It's auto renewal.
I find you know what I find watching it live is just too slow. It's too slow. You have to watch just the highlights. The last 2 minutes, to take 4 or 5 timeouts. It's just it takes like 30 minutes for the last 30 seconds. It's just too much.
I went to only one game is in Boston. I watched Boston. That's still the Big Four time.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Allen.
Allen.
Garnett.
Yeah.
Pierce and
Rondo.
Walker. Oh, Rondo. Oh Rondo. No, not Walker. No.
Yeah.
Rondo
was that time. I think Rondo was the best. He was best point guard at that time, but not the best. Still not better than Chris Paul. But he was so fortunate to have the big three guys, so he does not to share the pressure.
Yeah.
So his pressure is defending team cannot put a lot of play on him. Yeah. So he have all wide open. Yeah. The style of his playing is very aggressive as well. So it's really amazing. So but after that he was done. After the Big Four, he never played well. Actually.
He actually played. I think this past year for a little bit for Lakers. I think.
He played. He did. Lakers assembled like all the old veterans.
All people.
Very old. It's not. But he got one championship with the old team 2 years ago.
I think so. Yes. Yeah. During this pandemic year. No one was watching.
Yeah. So it's all the old. That's why LeBron James it's people always in China. I guess LeBron James Kobe Bryant was the first biggest star. Yeah. The LeBron James get too much talent, but it's not not as respected as Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, he's just big. LeBron's just too big, too tall, right?
And also he's too skilled. You see the physical talents. He's way too talented, so he does not put that much effort.
Yeah, I get it. I thought that way too.
Yeah. Crazy. This guy is with the size and with the skills, his passing skills and his shooting, you cannot stop him. It's the Howard, the center. Yeah. You look at the shoulder, it's like a machine. Yeah. It's without the back problem, his drama with Van Gundy, the big Van Gundy, without the drama, he's probably dominating for quite a while. Yeah. It was too much drama. Yeah. Himself is not mature, I think.
No, of course not. No.
He
has 9 kids. 9 kids.
Seriously.
With 8 women.
Seriously, I did not know. I did not follow his personal stuff. But you can tell he's not smart playing basketball. He has raw talent.
Raw talent. He's not disciplined. Kobe used to think, try to discipline him or something.
No way.
No, they always used to fight about that. I think. Remember,
yeah. He's as a center, if you don't have a post game, you are done.
Well, nowadays, new NBA, you can't be a post player and be a center. Yeah. You have to shoot the 3.
That time was still. Yeah. With his body, nobody can stop him. Yeah. But he's shooting so bad. even the free shots, it's really bad.
Yeah. I always been look. I was I sometimes
if he put a little bit effort, it would be.
You would think so, Like I tell my friends, these people, they do this for their living every day. How can he still shoot 50%? Put some guy, blindfold them. They might even do 50%.
The only good thing from Howard is his personality. Always, and good, laughing, smiling with everybody. But he has big. You never know. On the surface, he's friendly, super nice. But probably I I guess when you have that kind of leverage over coaches, if you have fight between player and coach, always I would suspect the player is the bad guy. So he kind of contribute to the firing of Big Van Gundy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Also the Darren Williams. Darren Williams at the end was so bitter to get the issue with the Jeff's what is the Sloan for the Utah.
Yeah.
The legendary coach.
Yeah, Sloan.
Yeah, Sloan was fired because of Darren Williams.
I think there was, I can't remember the conflict, but yeah, I don't know what exactly.
The Darren Williams, I think, was kind of playing his hand too much. It's a big influence, the top.
Big influencer, yeah.
Yeah, so
I don't know.
Sloan was up there at kind of same level of like Phil Jackson, right? That kind of rivalry, also the respect.
Yeah.
As a coach.
Man, you're a true basketball
yeah,
historian. You're not a fan, you're a historian, man. Because I enjoy basketball quite a bit, but yeah, that's hilarious. Howard is playing in CBA now.
Seriously.
Yeah, he's in the China. Oh, sorry.
Even the Jeremy Lin moved to CBA. I did not like that move, to be honest.
He had nowhere else to play. You went to the.
No, the first time. Second time right now after the development league, he was playing really well.
He was playing really well.
Yeah.
Instead, he took Jordan Poole.
Yeah.
Took Jordan Poole instead of him.
But the second time right now you make money, it's okay. But the first time when he was only like 7-8 years ago, he went there first time. That was I can understand. That time he was already, and he got a good. Some teams are gonna select him in NBA.
Yeah, I think but he's still in the CBA now too.
Yeah, still.
But I think his career.
I think it's. But he's so smart. I guess he's so smart. Probably gonna do business.
I'm not sure. But I think the guy is like very Christian. He's very Christian.
That's kind of.
And it won't go well in China. So I don't know.
But he could do either business in the United States, do the coaching thing.
Yeah, I don't think his mind is in business. I think he's all about spreading the word of
love. Jesus.
Love. So
that's a little bit surprising at the beginning. Every time he was interviewed, it says law, right?
Yeah. I think I wonder, because he's now in China, he can't talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I guess he's gonna. Okay, let's not talk about this side. So yeah, I guess.
So it's a very it's a very strange.
Yeah. But the point guard as smart as him, normally you probably can land a job as a coach in NBA, assistant coach or whatever, then you move up. But maybe that's being part of Asian. You can land a high coach job in NBA like Asian. In that league, they don't respect you that much.
Yeah, tough. Yeah,
very tough.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I guess with his.
Yeah. That's definitely true. Probably, there's like
it's like way more difficult than you play as a player.
Yeah. Probably like they call it underneath bias. Bias.
The coach used to be only white.
Yeah.
Then African because they dominated the player as a player. So the respect they earn when they play basketball games. Yeah. So now you see a lot of African.
There is one exception though. There's one coach in the NBA. He is half Asian.
Oh, I guess the Heat, yeah. But he's from Philippines or something.
Yeah. But he kind of looks Asian. Yeah. But, and he started, he's half Asian. But he started out as
a video thing.
Video coordinator.
Yeah.
So,
but he's unique. He was
very unique.
He was super lucky to have LeBron James and Dwayne Wade. Same time.
Sure. But I think he's also super lucky that he had a great connection with the owner of the Heat. Good to talk basketball. Actually, sometimes for me, I actually follow because I lived in the States. People follow college basketball even more than professional.
NCAA.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's very athletic. You see all the 20s in their 20 years old, 19 years old.
Yeah,
they like.
It's really and a lot of them they go to university not for school but to try and become professional NBA. So the competition is really
Also, they are not tired at all, so they run the court like crazy.
Totally different atmosphere. The atmosphere of a college game, it's very different. It's not like you're not playing 82 games. You're playing maybe like 14, 15 games a year. So yeah,
And also, when you are super young, you never get tired.
true. Defense is
Yeah.
much
You
tighter.
cannot have old players. Then the coach has to do the strategy of let's allocate time. This player, that player. For them, you just keep going.
Keep going. Yeah.
It's all young people. There's a cap there. You cannot be 25 years old. You cannot 30 years old playing that game.
Yeah. And there's no like star player, not the same like professional treatment. Star. If you don't play well, you get benched.
So we talk about Tiger Mom of Jeremy Lin. It's coming. Yeah, we get the basketball conversation because of Jeremy Lin's mom, the Tiger Mom.
Oh yeah, that's right. Tiger. Yeah, we've been jumping.
Off track.
But Tiger Mom, Tiger Mom, yeah. My mom, when she learned about Tiger Mom, she's like, "See, this is the best type of parenting." See, this is it. See what her daughters became.
But I think, how much do you think that, this generation, all this community, Chinese community, Asian community, Tiger Moms, this generation, how do they play in the overall, in the society to influence the other kind of style of parenting? It's probably could become a mainstream now, because it's talked about so much. They all know.
It's definitely. I feel like it's definitely more well known now, but at the end of the day, just from one person's story, they're not going to change how someone else parents. Does their parenting style.
In Chinese we call 卷. It's competing.
Okay.
It's in Chinese character called 卷 肉.
Okay, like.
Yeah, 肉 is all the kids the same kind of. All of them go to piano lessons.
Yeah.
All of them good at ballet dancing.
Yeah.
So all of them good at academics.
Yeah.
So all these kids, they go into the same way.
I see.
Same type. We call a 卷.
Okay.
That kind of stuff is very, even in North America, in Montreal, the same. In Chinese community, all the 10 years old, you have.
They do the same things.
Yeah, it's like in China, that been going on for 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
Now it's we export this kind of practice to
culture. Really.
Yeah. So all the kids, they go. You have to go to this school. So you have a ranking of school.
Oh, you're talking about primary school, secondary, CSHEP?
Yeah, in Montreal.
Okay.
They always,
I don't know.
All the parents, they have groups. They tell, okay, we have to go this, our first choice, and this will be our second choice, and this will be third choice, and then our kids, they all go to those kind of programs to make sure
they go the same.
they're going to the same school.
Yeah, so this is successful.
Yeah,
path, right? This is the path.
So these kind of kids, they only can get 10 of them to this first tier school, first choice school.
Yeah.
So it's at the end, you all for example, we are friends, and then our kids, they're gonna compete to each other.
Yeah.
So all of them want to go to the same school.
Yeah.
So that's created a lot of problems, I guess.
Okay, so I didn't grow up in Montreal, but I don't know what the local schools that well, but I would think Marinopolis, is that the best CSHEP school?
Yeah,
right?
Very popular.
Right?
Top on the list.
Top on the list, right?
Another is the Bourbeuf. They said Justin Trudeau was graduated.
Yes.
So Bourbeuf and Jean-Eudes. That kind of school.
I don't know that one, but okay.
Yeah, and also another international school.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Okay, I see. I think it's just the Chinese parents. They bring the culture, from China to here. Super competitive before. And try to compete. It's oh, my kid is a representation of me.
When you grew up, probably you're not that environment yet. But right now, it's.
Oh, I know. I was. I was definitely.
Okay.
Definitely was. When you have Chinese people, their parents will definitely want to compete. See who's better. How's your?
You mean when you grow up, you have several Chinese kids with you too?
Oh yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. Everywhere I went, everywhere city I lived in, my parents always moved to the good school district. Okay? Every good school district has Chinese, Chinese families. Okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Okay, and of course it is. In my experience, Chinese students always do well.
They spend a lot of time
very
practicing, homework or time. But like, are you aware of the in your conversation with your parents or something? Do you think they always think collectively? Like, it's in the tradition, like East Asia, the collective thinking as a thinker group.
Yeah.
Is that? Do you feel that a lot, or like when you were kind of with them?
Can you just explain that
like
a
a
bit
group,
more?
like as a Chinese group, as a
Oh, okay, I see. Okay,
yeah, it's collectivism.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. Yeah, I think definitely. Yeah. This is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
This is what.
Or the beneficial to the group.
To the group. Yeah, or like not to like. Oh, this is.
Or you rely on the community.
Yeah, don't do anything that's. If you do this, this is not what we do. People don't do this.
Okay.
So yeah, it's more. Yeah. More of a group thinking, for sure. If you're gonna, you're choosing to do this activity. Oh, but Chinese people don't do that. Think something like that. We don't. So.
Yeah, because I feel like even Japan is very typical. Like when the kids growing up in Japan, like a lot of time they think about group, the beneficial to the group, their behavior, activities. That's like in the here, like the kids growing up, they're more like
individualistic. Yeah, it's true. It's definitely true.
But do you feel like sometimes you're gonna have a little bit internal fight between or it's planned very well within you?
You have you definitely feel sometimes you can feel the conflict because maybe at school you're taught more individualistic values, but then you go to your family and your parents are teaching you more. What they're saying is thinking more group. So at one point you're kind of conflicted. You have to you kind of have to choose, or you get confused, or maybe sometimes you get confused. It's so.
But you mentioned there's a little bit argument between you and your parents when you grow, like your stage right now, 32. Like, do you understand them more, or are you agreeing with them more?
Well, I just how I think of it is that they probably had their best intentions.
Yeah, but do you see their point now?
Yeah, I do see their point, but it may not be.
The methods may not be.
But I don't necessarily agree with their methodology or the way they did it. So, I can see, you can try to understand it. Like, I can understand it, but no, that's maybe not the best way.
But also, do you feel what age you feel like I don't want to spend time with you guys anymore? Yeah. Sometimes, but then some age, maybe 15 to 18 years old, probably don't want to spend. But then you probably, when you're 30, 20 something, you probably appreciate more time with, appreciate more conversations.
Yeah.
It's more like keeping the distance,
I see. Yeah. No, that's a good question.
I worry about one day my daughter gonna have the same, when she's 13. So, no, I don't want to talk to daddy anymore. But when she's 30, probably, daddy is cool.
Yeah. No, it's a good question. I don't know. I think.
But when you look back, probably, one certain age, probably rebelled more than.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as maybe certainly during my teenage years, mostly like, how come, kind of resenting my parents, like, why are things have to be like this at home? Why is it always so strict? These kind of things.
But at what age or what time you feel like, probably not bad?
Yeah, I don't know. It comes with time. Time that helps heal a lot of things, right? So, So I don't know if there's a year, but maybe once you don't live together anymore,
distance.
It kind of helps a lot. Definitely helps a lot. And so I visited my parents, both my dad, at this past year for about 2 weeks. My dad finally was able to come back from China.
Okay. Oh, the COVID restrictions.
Yeah, exactly. So I spent about 2 weeks with them, and it's great. Like the second week, it was like
too much.
Very too much, So.
But easy with mom, right? Your mom.
Yeah. So it has some moments, some good moments.
Yeah. That's why sometimes I think it's we call generation gap.
Yeah, absolutely.
Generation gap.
Yeah.
But that would be 10 times more or 5 times more, 5x, especially when you live in different culture, when you grow up different culture.
Yeah, generation gap plus
And
cultural gap.
Yeah. So your thinking and their thinking, definitely, even you are the same age, you're gonna differ a lot.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a lot of issues with opinions on this.
Yeah. So yeah, my parents, they grew up through the Cultural Revolution. You know, they grew up through.
Also, the information they take every day. I can have a good guess. They're very, very cautious on the COVID measures, right?
Yeah. I mean, my dad was living in China.
Yeah.
So,
your mom even today probably.
Yeah. She's like,
still very cautious.
Yeah,
right?
both my parents in their 60s now.
Yeah. So very cautious. It's like the information they take every day.
Sure.
Yeah, that's like even here, like we see a lot of people, even in Montreal, a lot of people wearing masks.
Yeah.
Like when they walk outside.
Yeah.
A lot of them you will see probably Asian. They're more.
Yeah. But I don't mind. That's everyone has their personal choice.
Yeah, exactly.
So do what's comfortable for you. As long that's something else like I like about sort of life in general in North America. Everyone can do their own thing.
As long as you don't force.
Yeah, as long as you don't try to force it on me.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes some of these religious preachers
It's really annoying.
Huh?
It'll be
yeah,
annoying.
for sure. Yeah, they're it's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah, but for the culture gap and the generation gap, those kind of together, I would say like a lot of trouble for my friends, myself included. Like we are the first generation parents. We hope here to either for the better education, for the kids. But then when you get them educated, they grow up. They are so different from you. It's like. On top of the age, each difference, and then new generation, then the culture. So that's the contradicting. That's really amazing to see. Like when we are 50s, 60s years old, and then our kids, they are in their 30s, in their 20s, you will see, oh, this is a foreigner, you will see them as a foreign thinking, It will be really interesting.
Yeah. I've heard comments from my family friends. My family's. My parents' friends. They think about exactly what you're thinking. They brought immigrated for a better life, better education, but then they raise their sons to be. Or their sons or daughters to be like completely different. Yeah. And they ask, was it all worth it?
Yeah, exactly.
They ask, maybe I should. And they come to the
should
conclusion.
Have stayed, right?
They come to the conclusion. Some of them is like, I should have stayed in China instead.
Yeah.
Especially when the culture here is they're not completely into the culture. Here.
It's very different. The Chinese culture and here, it's very, very different.
Absolutely. Yeah.
People from Europe is not a big deal. It's the difference is not a big deal.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like. Culture is too different, and then you raise up them here.
Yeah.
Even you want to, I guess your parents tried to give you a lot of Chinese values, Chinese cultures, but most time it's gonna fail.
Yeah.
Because parents don't.
They're not with you 24/7.
Yeah, exactly. You have cool friends, kids. This is cool. Like all this kind of hip hop, all those culture, like watching TikTok, YouTube, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They talk even. Like when you are 10, it's crazy, they are so smart there. They get all the apps, all the videos, together.
Yeah. But I think it's also like ignorant for parents to think, oh, their kid is gonna be exactly
like them.
Because you're just brought up in a different environment, different culture.
Very, very different.
So have the expectation. Lower the expectation or like change the expectation to be more realistic.
Yeah. Either the parents won't be happy or the kids won't be happy. You see already you have a lot of friends. Like you can tell by theory you're gonna see this conflict's gonna be really big.
Yeah.
It's really interesting to see. Like when I'm getting older, like all my friends are getting older together. Yeah. So like when our kids are gonna be
how is it going to play out?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, how is,
It's really
especially when you see like the conflict now, right? Versus like now, 20 years later, what's gonna
when they grow up, it will be scary to see like, oh, this the cute babies grew up into a monster with crazy ideas, crazy way of thinking, totally different from you, like very, very different. Then you have to reason with them. You have to accept the reality. You raise a foreigner, you raise like totally different from your values.
Yeah.
And some values they are contradicting. Like, really, so different.
I think I had before, like the period of time where I had some trouble with that, like what do I choose? But I don't know if over time in my late 20s, I think I maybe come to a conclusion or something.
It's like the Tai Chi. You have Chi inside. Over the time, you get absorb everything into your body, and you conquer them. You quench them, like press them all together.
Yeah, you live with them. You find a resolution or solution. So,
most probably gonna. I would guess most probably the kids are gonna do great, gonna do fine, but the parents they're gonna be tormenting themselves.
Probably.
Yeah. The
probably
parents
overthinking.
Overthinking to see, it's not what I want. Why they're not like this? But then the kids enjoy their life. You have the perfect. They have language skills. They speak perfect English, Chinese. Some even here Montreal, French. They they're more assets when they find a career. It's very easy for them to get all the tools they have. They're gonna do great. And then leaving the old generation like me, they figure out what went wrong.
What went wrong? Yeah. A lot of I don't know, a lot of parents in Western culture, they tend to think, and I tend more to agree with this kind of philosophy, is that as long as they raise their kids to be happy, successful, or not successful, happy and healthy, that's the definition of success. If they are happy with their themselves, with their career, whatever they choose, and that they're financially healthy, this kind of thing, that's great.
Yeah, it's great. I guess like myself included, we worry too much. We worry about mistakes, we worry about the future too much. Always think, too many problems for them. You have this hole, you don't fall into that hole, don't fall into that trap.
Yeah. I guess that means you care, but at the same time,
you care too much.
Care too much. Sometimes care too much.
A lot of times my problem, or like a lot of my friends' problem, is too much. A lot of things, it's good, but not too much. You're nice, but too nice. You give other people pressure. Everything you have moderation.
Yeah. No, I understand. It's like the, as an immigrant parent, you made a big sacrifice.
Yeah, big sacrifice.
Big sacrifice. Sometimes you want to see big returns.
Big
from
return. That perspective, that's like high risk, high return.
Yeah, high return. And what's the return? Well, the kid. The kid, and they're but. I understand, but at the same time, the kid is not your business.
It's not business.
It's not a business investment. Maybe it is. I don't know. Sometimes
everything is investment.
Everything is investment. That's it goes. I don't know.
Great. Anything you add? We can finish here, I guess.
No, I just said no. I've enjoyed that. We covered a lot of different things.
We just
free flowing.
We just talk about anything we like.
Everything.
Basketball,
Yeah.
NBA.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I also want to thank you for inviting me too.
You're welcome. It's really glad you want to be part of this.
Yeah, for sure. They call it nowadays. They call this mukbang, something like that.
Yeah, mukbang is like you eating from, right?
Yeah, right. Is that right? Okay, so
mukbang.
Yeah, so got to experience my first one.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We finish here.
Thank you. All right, awesome.